Karate Kid, Bruce Lee, giving you double vision, no fear, no mercy, gloves off, try and hurt me, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me. Sweep the leg!
Good morning, everyone. We hope that you are having a good day because today is a good day. It is post shenanigans. It's all good. And of course, as always, I'm never alone. I'm never alone. Well, sometimes I'm alone, but I'm never alone. But today I say we in the royal sense because, ladies and gentlemen, we have the thunder from down under, the man with the plan, the person with the sturgeon. I don't know. Now I'm getting ridiculous. So let's just bring him in because we got to stop this ridiculousness. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy T is here. Jimmy Zilla. What's up, my brother?
I was gonna say, sweep my leg. You know what I mean? But not in
Whoa.
this case. Yeah. Ooh. What's going on, fellas? And I'm already laughing, by the way, at Cold-Blooded's comments.
Right?
Because him saying whoever two is hosting this show is going to be in a tag match and a big attraction match between Tyson and Jake Paul. We'll whoop their candy asses.
Yeah. And then he said, oh, yeah. And he says, if you're solo, it's a handicap. My condolences there.
No, we're teaming up tonight.
We are. Yeah, we got to handle this shit because, hey, it's the battle of old people this weekend, Jimmy. I mean, last night we had Tyson, Jake Paul. Tonight we have John Jones and Stipe Miocic. I feel like it's like 2007 again, Jimmy. Like,
yeah, 2008 even.
Maybe, yeah.
Even though Tyson was well and truly retired even back then, but as far as Stipe and fucking John Jones goes, god damn, man, I don't want to see that fight. I couldn't care less about that fight.
Yeah, but I mean,
I've seen it before.
Woo! Let's yay! Like, I mean, are we at the point, Jimmy, with MMA where we have to dust off like fights like this to where it's relevant? And we to make MMA relevant, like, have we oversaturated the MMA market so much that?
Good point. You know why it's a good point? Because you know what my cable TV provider just did?
What did they do?
They brought out a UFC channel, like a live 24/7 UFC channel, bro.
Really,
just recently. I think that's the first too around the world. I mean, they've got the UFC app, but you have to pay for it. But this thing is like 24/7. For free, right? So
really,
and I was thinking, do we need a freaking UFC channel for real? Like, I think you're right, man. I think it is oversaturated right now. But what's weird when we say oversaturated, it's not by multiple companies per se. It's more like oversaturated. They're oversaturating themselves, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it feels like every weekend there's something. There's a match, and I mean, I think, like, Cold-Blooded says, I think it's awesome, but like at the same time too.
Don't get me wrong.
Right, look, don't get me wrong. MMA is great, but at the same time too, if we're hyping every match to be great, right? Like there's just some cards that are just going to be, hey, we're having fights, cool. Like that, but the way UFC goes about it, and everybody goes by, this is the best card ever, and this is what an amazing match, and it feels like every other week we're having this, match you can't miss kind of thing. And it's more to where now it's kind of like the whistle has been blown so many times that I'm ignoring the whistle.
What's fucked up? Dude, they're not making new stars per se. Like Volkanovski was the last one that sort of made people want to tune in. Like, then he lost his belt.
Who?
Volkanovski. You know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
You don't know? Come on, bro.
No, I don't. Look, I don't follow MMA. If you don't, it's hard enough for me to follow MMA because it feels like things are changing all the time, and everybody says, "Oh, this is the best match ever." So, like,
they call this guy pound for pound the best, possibly the best ever MMA fighter. No shit. He's Australian, funny enough.
Okay.
But this guy held the lightweight championship forever, dude. He was almost unbeatable. And then he lost recently to one of the Russian fucking. I forgot his last. I can't pronounce his last name properly, bro. Do you remember Khabib?
Yeah.
It's one of his boys, right?
Oh,
That beat
okay.
him, but it was epic. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry, it was someone else, dude. A Spanish, Georgian guy. Not. Don't worry. Forget I said that. It was someone else. I forgot his name because there's another one I can't pronounce. But the point is, since then he was the last sort of true star that was champion. When I say star, I'm talking about like mainstream people knew. I'm surprised you don't know who he is. But yeah, most people would cold blooded. You know who fucking Volkanovski is, right? Alexander Volkanovski, Alex Volkanovski. Anyway, but now we're going back to the future, man. Like,
Yeah.
they need the old stars to sort of. I mean, who in their right mind? Honestly, I can't stand Stipe. First of all, see, cold blooded said absolutely. Thank you. You know what I mean? But tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, isn't Volk the last one truly that people were interested in watching fight right now? Since he's lost his championship, who's there to fucking look forward to watching, really? That's got any sort of charisma, even. That's actually like, do you know what I mean? These guys are the champions now. They've got no personalities, bro.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You couldn't care
Yeah.
less. And you know
See-
what? People are screaming for boxing to come back. The problem is too much shenanigans, too much bullshit involved.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love boxing, dude.
Yeah. Look, I'm looking at a picture of Alexander Volkanovski right now, and like, yeah, nothing says, "Oh, yeah, that guy." Right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, he's unassuming, of course.
I don't,
He's a killer, though, bro. He's a
I
killer.
don't-
He's a badass, bro.
recall anything about him at all.
I
Like,
can't believe you don't know who Alex Volkanovski is,
no,
man.
no, like, and I mean, like, look, I mean, my understanding of personalities in UFC is like, I've heard of Stipe Miocic because of just stuff and John Jones and Dustin Poirier, but Dustin Poirier is from my hometown in Louisiana, from
Of
Lafayette.
course you know.
Right. So I know Daniel Cormier, he's from Lafayette. I mean, so like,
Cormier
look,
is one of the big heavyweight stars, and literally that transcends the sport of MMA. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, but I played football against him. I mean,
Really?
so
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he was at Northside High when I was at STM, and so we played a couple of times against each other.
Cool.
So
he's a big pro wrestling fan too. That's what I love about him, dude.
Yeah,
Huge pro wrestling fan.
Colby Covington, like always, but like
Colby.
But that's the whole
one
point.
That's got personality, at least, though, dude.
Right, like that's the
people were interested. You know what I mean? Because he talks so much shit. You know what I mean? And people love seeing you see him get his ass whooped. Like Charles Sonnen's another one, dude. Couldn't fight for shit, in my opinion, bro. He was the worst not the worst. I'm not going to say that. But what I'm trying to say, right, is that he convinced you, right? Especially his feud with John Jones back in the day. He would convince you that he's going to whoop John Jones' ass, right? Even though deep down you knew he wouldn't. Because he would talk, right? And he'd get his ass whooped, like, from John Jones. But his mouth always made you think, I'm going to fucking buy this pay-per-view because this motherfucker's convinced me. But that was all thanks to pro wrestling. He says it too. He learned all that shit because of pro wrestling. You mean how to fucking promote a fight. And it worked, dude. You could be the shittest fighter as long as you got personality. It doesn't matter, bro. And it's proven with Dana White. He doesn't give a shit how good of a fighter you are, dude. You could be undefeated, but if you're boring, he will literally fire your ass, bro.
Yeah.
He couldn't care less. Less. I said left. What the fuck?
I mean, I think there is a like with MMA, you need to have a balance of personality, but also be a good fighter. I think they that's it's kind of those things.
By with your mouth, if somehow if you're that charismatic, you can.
But I mean, think about it, Jimmy. Like with wrestling, right? How many times have we talked about that? There have been technically good wrestlers. Shelton Benjamin, right? We agree. Right. Shelton Benjamin is probably, and everybody says, probably one of the best athletes that's ever been in the ring.
He's one of my favorites. He's earned that. But let's be real. He's one of the blandest fucking personalities out there, right?
Right. Right. Exactly. Right. And so it's like, okay, cool. But then you got people, like we've seen it so many times in wrestling, that were great personalities, but were real shit in the ring. But where do they make up for it? Like, let's be honest. The Miz is mid-level wrestler at best, but his
Yeah, but I'll call him
personality.
an all-rounder, though. I'll say he's an all-rounder. Like, he's not bad at anything.
Yeah, he's
Do
not
you know what
bad,
I'm
but
saying? Like,
his personality
decent
and
everywhere.
his personality, his character is what put him to that next level, to where
Right.
he's been around for so long. Why? Because of it, like those kind of things. I think
He ate shit all the way on to the top too.
well, yeah, I mean,
Excuse
there
me.
is that, but I mean, I think him and his personality, the way he does things, R-Truth, right? I mean, R-Truth has stuck around so long because of his personality, his character, right? People love him, and
Right.
I mean, I think it just goes to prove that yes, even in sports, we want something entertaining, right? We want that entertainment. We want that competition, but we also want that personality that drives
Right,
us to
because
want to like
what's the
somebody.
point? Like, look at a Gronk, for example, right? It's funny
Yeah.
because Gronk, the name Gronk, in Australian slang, a
Mhm.
Gronk, right, means like you're an idiot, like you're
Right.
just, and he's
Yeah.
a fucking idiot. Let's be honest, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he's a funny idiot. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can like the guy, for example, and he's a great player. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but players that are good and have got no personality, it's easy to fucking forget. Like, you can forget him later. Like, do you know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah. Well,
People gravitate to that shit. It's just it's the way we are.
Well,
You know,
look, let's
it's
put it
weird.
this way, right? People were met on Peyton Manning until he did Saturday Night Live, right? And he did
And I
Saturday Night
wonder
Live,
why.
and he was hilarious. And it, like, all of a sudden, everybody's like, Peyton Manning's the great. Like, when he did that United Way commercial where he's beaming the ball at the kids and yelling at them and teaching them how to, smoke and all that kind of
Because they've
stuff.
finally seen a piece of him, like who he is as a friggin' person.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And,
Like,
and now you can relate to the guys.
yeah,
somehow, you know.
And that's and then all of a sudden Peyton Manning became this really popular player, and I mean he was good on the field, but
Yeah, absolutely.
he just seems so bland with the quarter zips. And then now with him and Eli doing the Monday Night Football bit where they're joshing each other while they're watching the game and just having a good time, right? The Manning cast is popular because it's, again, these guys showing their personality, having fun, and it's like watching two brothers or two best friends at a bar talking shit while they're watching a football game, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It gives us that aspect of it, of things that we want, and that's what entertainment is. And so and I guess we should probably tie this into last night, Jimmy, with the Tyson Jake Paul fight, which I didn't watch. I was working all day. And then I had a wedding. So I have a wedding tonight, but they wanted me to go to the rehearsal last night. And it's an hour and a half drive away from my house. So an hour from work. And of course, driving back was just a pain in the ass. So like it was 5:30 for the rehearsal, get done at 6:30, and then drive home. And it's like, so it's like 8 something when I'm like, I've got to eat. I haven't eaten. I'm hungry. Pull into a place here locally, a local burger joint, because I haven't tried it yet. And it was fine. I'm going to say this is going to be controversial, but just because you can do it on a burger doesn't mean you should. All right. Like they had,
I agree with you.
I got a burger and it had this fancy mayo, had avocado, grilled onions, grilled mushrooms. It had bacon, fried egg. Like it was like they took almost most of the order and put it on there. And I was like, okay.
And they said, look at this fancy thing. They just say a whole bunch of everything and call it great. Look at this.
Yeah. And
I hate that shit.
And the first problem is you go to eat it, right? And I cut it in half to try to eat it. Well, everything just
fit your whole mouth over it.
Well, no, I could, because I got a big old mouth. But like when I go to grab it, that's why my girlfriend. Hey, that's why my girlfriend and I have been together 8 months now. Today is 8 months for us. Yeah.
Fucked. No shit. 8 months.
Yeah, 8 months.
Shit,
so.
what the fuck? What happened to the time, dude?
I don't know.
Felt like it was no shit. It felt like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No,
it's weird, dude.
It's been good. Yeah. So today is 8 months, but like, it's
by the way.
Thank you. So it like I go to pick it up and it just falls out.
Slopped.
Right. It's just slopped. Yeah. And so then I cut it in quarters to try to eat it. And it's still a mess. And like it covers, like, by the time you get to the meat part, if you like, you have the patty, and the
Don't
patty,
tell me the patty's fucking small as.
It was a half-pound burger, but it was so thin, right? It wasn't a thick boy. I'm it was like almost like a smash burger-ish kind of thing. And I'm like, okay.
That's such a cock tease, bro. That's what you call a cock tease, right?
It really is. And I mean, like this place has been like, oh, they've got really great burgers in the area locally, and everybody's like, oh, this is one of the best burger spots. And I'm like, okay, cool. And my mistake is I did that, right? But I was hungry. So I was like, oh, that sounds good. I like bacon. I like a fried egg. I mean, I like all those things.
No,
it's just, but maybe I should have just gone like, hey, bacon and egg on the burger, just right? Simple. Like do a breakfast like burger, or
complicated, man.
Or cheese and I like a good Swiss cheese with mushroom.
Cheese works, dude. I love Swiss cheese.
The mushroom and Swiss cheeseburger, right? Like, and that was my fault for going that route.
Though, a mushroom and Swiss cheeseburger actually fits, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, this was my mistake, but at the same time, you shouldn't have a burger like this. Your meat and whatever accessories, with little accessories you need, should be
hungry though.
Carrying it. Oh, look, I'm still full from it because I ate the whole thing because I was hungry. And so Cold Blooded says, I almost cried when I found out some people eat runny egg on burger. I do. I like a runny egg, so that's fine.
I don't mind it if it's not complicated. Like for example, if it's a cheeseburger with eggs, say, right? Just say that's cool. But as long as it's not like cold runny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? This sounds like a fad. The burger shit these days is a fad, just like the gourmet pizza fad. I mean, is there a lot of gourmet pizza fucking joints around where you are?
Yeah.
Let's be real about that before we move on to other things. I can't believe, just quietly, for everyone that's listening, we don't plan what we're going to talk. What we're going to talk about.
We kind of briefly talked about it, yeah.
But we didn't fucking mention anything about talking about UFC. One and two. No, especially about food, right? So this is funny. I kind of like it. But what I wanted to get at was the gourmet pizza fad, which is still going crazy. They charge an arm and a leg. But what I look at, a gourmet pizza to me just looks like let's just throw a whole big piece of ham on a pizza, right? Like a thin piece of ham, right? Normal ham with cheese and tomato. But it looks like shit. And then, but because they call it gourmet, let's charge you $30 a pizza. You know what I mean? Like,
because we're using this semolina wheat, and we're using this Iberico ham, and we're using this, Brion cheese, or whatever. Like, I mean, like, look, I'll get a frozen pizza from fucking HEB or wherever and eat that shit.
Me too, but I get sick of frozen pizzas though. After a while, they're not the same, dude. I remember back in the day, they used to be so much better for us. Anyway,
look, I don't know what you're getting. But I get our HEB is a local, local grocery chain here, and they're Texas based, and they make all their own stuff, and it's really good. And I've gotten their frozen pizzas, and I like them. They're really good, and they're not shit. They don't taste like cardboard. They're not whatever. Like it's like getting a good pizza. And so
they've monopolized it here, dude. They used to be so good back when I was growing up. That was some good shit, and now it's all this company called McCain's. They make the shittest fucking pizzas, bro. Like the shittest frozen pizza. Don't even get me started, dude. I hate it, man. And shout outs to the Hammer. What's up, Hammer? Thanks for joining us,
Charles, what up, dude? He's made it. And thank you, Cold Blooded. Appreciate it. I didn't see that earlier. So, but yeah, like, I mean, I get it. Like, you want to do something to stand out, but like, to me, if you're going to be a burger joint, the meat is what makes it stand out. Like how you cook your meat.
Is, bro.
That's really what a burger like to me
is the meat.
Yeah, like, and I guess I'm old school. Like, I like a thick burger, right? I like it too, where maybe it's like a little medium rare, medium, like medium cook. Well, I mean,
I'm joking, but you get the little.
I got it. I got the plug.
What I did there?
Yeah, I like what you did there.
Tuesday mornings, by the way, 10 a.m.
Tuesday. Ooh. So, but like, a thicker burger, like the meat and maybe some cheese on there, and maybe like one or two toppings, and most people like lettuce or tomato.
Lettuce and tomato is standard. You have to.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. I mean, I don't do lettuce personally, but like that's just me. Yeah, but
I love lettuce, bro. I love onions too, man. I'm not gonna lie. Bless you, my child.
Thank you. I like a good tomato. I like a good tomato. Like, to me, I can do onions raw or grilled on it. So like maybe like a tomato, an onion.
A good hot dog with grilled onions is sick, bro.
Yeah, I will say that.
Oh
I will say
shit!
that. And but really, it's for me, it's the burger with you have that like that thick, beefy patty, so you get that
Exactly.
kind of you know, but then
Man,
you
you're
get the
making me want to
Christmas.
fucking get a burger now.
Look, I know, like you get
God
that.
damn it, bro.
You have that like that cheese on there, so you get that aspect of it. But then you get the crispness of the fresh vegetables, especially like
Oh,
like a raw onion and a raw
that's a chef's
like
kiss right there,
tomato,
bro.
right? And you get
Oh
that
my god.
aspect of it, and that's all you need. And that's how a burger should be. Should be a properly seasoned salt and pepper burger,
Damn.
with some onion powder, however you season your meat. Make sure it's seasoned, and then those kind of things on it. That's how you have a good burger. You don't need all the other shit
Damn,
on
bro.
there. Now, I say
know.
this.
We didn't
I
even
say
mention
this.
pickles too, bro.
I usually do pickles on the side. I like the acidity of the pickle. Like after I've had the burger, I like it like almost like as a palate cleanser a little bit, and
I
it kind
get
of
you, yeah.
helps kind of that really enjoys it more. So, but like mind you, I said this having had that burger last night and making this realization, and then watching my child who walked by earlier, who when we go to Florida with my family and we go to this pub called McAllister's? No. McGuire's, and they have on their menu. It's called the Garbage Burger, and it's literally everything from the menu on a burger, like peanut butter, a scoop of cheese,
Yeah, come on,
a
bro.
scoop of ice cream,
Peanut butter and ice
peanut
cream.
butter, ice cream,
Come on,
sauerkraut. Like,
yeah.
dude, I'm telling you,
Come on, bro.
everything. I'm telling you, dude, and this thing is massive.
That's
And the kid,
foul, dude.
this child ate the whole fucking thing.
Your kid?
My child ate the whole fucking thing. My dad has done it twice. My dad has done it twice.
Your
and my dad, you've seen my dad. My dad is a tiny
that's
man.
what I was gonna say. There's no way your dad would have fit that shit in.
My dad has ate it twice, and then had dinner that night.
Dude,
Like,
how did they feel, first of all, after having that shit? And why would your dad have it twice?
because my dad is just. I don't know why my
Come
dad
on,
does it. Like, I don't know. I can't answer things about my dad. Why does my dad do lots of things? I don't know. I
But how
cannot
big-
tell you.
I'm imagining it's pretty fucking big.
It's giant. It's
Yeah.
huge. Here, look. I think I have a picture of it. I want to find it. I want to show you.
Now I'm gonna throw up, dude. Like, come on. But why ice cream and peanut butter? Come on, bro. Like, and sauerkraut. Like, come on, man.
Look, I don't know.
There beetroot on top of that too.
Look, it's whatever's on the menu. They have it.
Whatever's there, everything. So, oh man.
Yeah, like it's wild. It's such a wild burger that they have on the menu. Let's see. I know I have a picture of it. I can't remember when was the last time we went and got it.
Peanut butter though and ice cream and fucking. Did they put topping on there too?
Sauerkraut, like no, and I mean they stack it too. Like I'm telling you, man, like it's stacked like nobody's business. It's just wild.
Shit.
I know I have it somewhere. Come on. Don't just hate it. You have a picture of something.
To buy?
Yeah. Though. It's expensive. Okay. You ready? You ready? You ready for this? I found it. All right. Here we go. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up, aren't
I? Probably. Yeah. Probably. All right. Here we go. That's it right there.
Oh, what the hell is that shit? That's like a big dump. Where's the burger in that? I can't even see the
right there.
Where's the patties, bro?
Right there.
What?
It's got all kinds of like blue cheese, egg, barbecue sauce, sauerkraut.
Blue cheese, egg. Like blue cheese as well.
Yeah. It's got the ice cream. It's got sauerkraut, bacon.
Is it pineapple?
I'm sure there's pineapple, dude. I look. It's wild.
Is that a French flag or was that an Irish flag? That's an
Irish flag. It's an Irish. It's an Irish flag.
I know, that's why. Because it looks kind of Frenchy by the color, but I saw the orange. Anyway, the actual bread part, if that is even bread, looks like a donut on the top, bro. Like,
yeah,
is this shit fried?
I think there's some fried stuff on there.
Man, that's a heart attack waiting to happen, bro.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
look, I'm telling you, the thing is wild, right?
Damn.
It's one of those things where you're like, you get it because it's a gimmick, right?
Yeah, but come on. Like, look,
That's
I'm
why
sure
you
you
get
eat the
it.
parts that you do like, right?
Except
But
he ate
like,
the whole thing.
damn.
It's an
Did he
Angus
start with
steak
the ice
burger,
cream?
huh?
Did he start with the ice cream?
Uh, he started. I don't remember because I was just going. I can't believe he's eating this.
That's
I mean, but
huge, though,
this
dude.
this,
That is
this
big.
place has a brie and blueberry chutney burger. All right, like
Yuck. What the hell, dude?
yeah, um, uh,
Why?
yeah. So
Grass, don't fucking start again, bro. He's
okay,
ribbing me every time now.
here let me show you. This is from their website, right?
That looks good though. There for some reason,
So you got
looks
the lettuce,
fresh.
tomato, all that kind of stuff.
Tomato looks like spot on.
Yeah, but remember, this is a promo picture too, right?
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. It looks
So
way
you've
better than
got
what it looks.
chocolate sauce. You've got, you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
How much does it cost, by the way?
this is
$20.
$20.
Shit, that's pretty expensive, bro. Like,
Yeah,
damn, for just a
jalapenos.
burger. Think about it. $20.
Yeah. For
That's
you got
crazy.
you got wedges on there. You got jalapeno. You got chocolate sauce. You got ice cream, sauerkraut. You've
That's
got
unnecessary, dude.
like
Jesus Christ.
Again, back to my theory. Just because you can put it on a burger doesn't mean you should. Yeah,
That was like an hour ago, fella.
I know, right? Like,
But we've only been going 30 minutes pretty much. But fucking
cold blooded. That looks like something that would form into a super villain for the Power Rangers to fight. You're not wrong, cold blooded. Cold blooded. Wait,
Shoot,
say
it's
that
morphin'
again.
time.
Oh, Jacob. Shout out to Jacob. He said there's liverwurst and wasabi on it.
Yuck. Wasabi.
It's actually pretty well layered to where you can eat in sections that are.
Here, come in here so Jimmy can hear you.
I can hear him. I can hear him.
Oh, can you hear? Oh, can you hear?
Can you hear
Okay.
me, by the way?
No, he can't because you're in my
All right,
headphones.
ask him this. Ask him,
Okay.
did he start with the ice cream first?
Jacob, okay, because I can't remember. Jimmy wants to know, did you start with the ice cream first?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I thought so.
And
I
start
thought
with
you would have.
the ice cream first, and then slowly worked my way down. And if you do it in the right sections, it's actually pretty good. In
Okay,
those
that's what I was
sections
saying. I was saying that to
specifically,
you.
Not as a whole.
Yeah. So,
Like, damn, that's only
Yeah.
because like I would start picking out what I would eat, right?
right.
And I probably would have left all the shit that I probably wouldn't touch. Like blue vein cheese, get the hell out of here, man. Just get the hell. Don't even give me like fuck that, man.
Yeah.
Fucking French.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's wanting to start a fight with you,
Yeah,
Russ.
he's in my
512.
bad books, Gruss. Gruss has been in my bad books for a few weeks now.
What are you
He's
talking
been
about? Greek
shitting
food
on
is a
Greek
heart
food.
attack waiting to happen. Like Greek
He's
people
been
are
shitting on Greek food every show I've been on for the last 2 weeks, bro.
like that's
No,
Greek
I'm not
food.
impressed, Gruss.
That's like one of the healthiest things you can get.
I know,
Like,
and everyone was like, "Are you all right?" Like, how can you hate Greek food? I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm being serious now.
I like
Greek
Greek
food
food.
is come on.
It's good. It's good. And he says that's a Scooby Doo sandwich. Yeah.
Shaggy.
Yeah. And that's the point, Aaron. Yes, it's an ice. Nothing on that burger makes sense because it's something. It's like everything on the menu that goes on a burger is on that burger. That's why they call it the garbage burger. You know. So
Garbage.
yeah.
Damn
so
Irish.
yeah. Well,
Cajun
no
food
shit.
is good too. But
Look.
But it ain't Greek food. Let's be real.
I'm gonna tell you this right
Sorry.
now. There's a huge difference. Look, and you're talking to the Greek and the Cajun, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Jimmy's the Greek and I'm the Cajun,
Literally.
literally. And so, yes, does Cajun food maybe taste better because of seasoning and such? Probably so. Are you going to live longer with Greek food? Yes, you will, because Cajun. There's a reason why after the oil business busted in my hometown of Lafayette, that heart doctors became the new millionaires in our town because there are so many heart attacks from Cajuns eating boudin and etouffee and gumbo and all the shit that they have and all the fried, everything.
Yeah,
There's a reason why heart doctors come to Lafayette and make $1 bajillion.
Really? Is that
I'm
true?
not. Yeah, I'm dead serious, Jimmy.
Wow.
There are so many heart doctors back home in Louisiana, in my
No
hometown,
shit.
because Cajun food is so rich and so heart
Spicy
clogging.
and shit as well.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
can
even
imagine,
the
dude.
spice; it's just the amount of like fried stuff and and all the spice, all that stuff in there that it jacks with your heart. And so, like, yeah, like
What's the average heart attacks going on? Was people dying in their 30s from heart attacks?
yes,
'Cause
Jimmy, like
no
30s and
shit.
40s. Look, let me tell you this right now. My neighbors, when we moved out of the trailer and got our house, right?
Right.
So we lived in our house. Across the street was an anesthesiologist. Right next door
Oh
to
my
us,
God.
anesthesiologist. Across, and right the other side of us, an anesthesiologist. Down the street was a heart doctor. On the other side was an anesthesiologist. Why? Because heart doctors and anesthesiologists were making a shit ton of money because people were having open heart surgeries and bypasses and all that kind of stuff. Dude,
Damn.
3 people were my neighbors in a nicer neighborhood because they were anesthesiologists. Because they were making so much money putting people to sleep because they were doing open heart surgeries and
Wow.
all that shit. Like,
That's hectic, man.
it's wild. It's wild how much, people were, like, okay, so
Fucked up.
and the industry moved out, and then there are back in my hometown, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were like at least 6 hospitals in my hometown that had 150 to 200,000 people. Yes,
Just in your hometown.
in my hometown, Jimmy. Yeah, there was Lafayette General, there was Lourdes, there was Women's and Children's, there was a specific heart hospital.
But wait a minute, when we say hometown, though, because technically I could say the same thing. I mean, technically, but I'm in a big city, though.
Yeah, I'm talking
So-
about Lafayette. I'm talking about
No,
Lafayette,
it's true.
Louisiana.
It's pretty medium sized, though. It's pretty decent.
150,000 people at the time, Jimmy.
But it seems very popular, though. Like, everyone knows Lafayette. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's
yeah,
because
it
it's
is.
the heart of Cajun country, and you got to remember too, it's also servicing the outer. If you on the weekend, if you lived in the country, you came to Lafayette, you came to town.
Okay, so when you compare it to 6 million people in my fucking hometown to 150,000 in yours, then yeah, that's a lot. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
Obviously.
but even still, even if you include the surrounding areas, you're probably at like maybe 300,000 people. I mean, it's not like we're servicing a giant area. So that's the amount of, and it doesn't mean that there weren't smaller hospitals in those areas, but like Lafayette had the biggest. That's where everybody would come if you had heart issues or
So
different
out
things.
of the smaller towns, Lafayette is like the central point.
Yeah. That
Okay.
is the best way to say it, because also too, you got to remember right at where Interstate 49 and Interstate 10 meet, and so like
So
it's
you
a
just
big
take the exit, bang.
yeah, and then you can take 90 down to New Orleans that way. So you can go to New Orleans 2 different ways from Lafayette, and a couple different ways to do it, and you go down to Homa and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty big hub, especially for all the Cajuns, because they know, oh, this is where I need to go, and all that stuff. And so it made it ideal for oil businesses at the time when they needed to have their headquarters for offshore drilling. That's why we have a Ruth's Chris, because all the executives from these oil and gas companies had their houses and they had their offices in Lafayette. And Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, world famous, right? Lafayette, 150,000, 200,000 people, has a Ruth's Chris because of that reason. I mean, it's just, it's just
Lab
Lab
rat's
rat.
funny. Fucking lab motherfucker. Whatever they're testing on you is definitely not fucking. He's definitely not good. What do you mean you can't compare real life? What's with you motherfuckers? What is this peak on me day today?
Yes.
These guys.
Look,
And
I will say this,
Gus,
yeah.
where are you from? You sound like you're from the south somewhere, right?
Shrimp and grits. Shrimp and
I
grits
assume.
slaps hard, probably.
This guy loves grits, but hates Greek food. I don't get it, bro.
Grits are good, though. I will tell you that right now. Grits is good. Like shrimp and grits. And then my mom makes the best, like, cheese grits. She'll make the grits, but then she takes Cheese Whiz and mixes it in there and like puts a good bit of it, so it's got that kind of nice Cheese Whiz, kind of salty, cheesy flavor mixed with the grits. And
Man, this food talk, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah,
It's making me hungry, bro. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
look.
I'm even in the mood for ice cream now after fucking seeing that
The garbage
Whatever
burger?
that fucking thing was. Yeah.
The garbage burger, Jimmy. It's the garbage burger.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, and that's Jacob ate that. And that was how long ago was that? I don't even remember. That was
2 years
August
ago?
of 2022.
He looked like from 2 years ago. That's why I said
Yeah.
it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's changed from
2022.
even then to now.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, okay, I'm gonna share this one too. So this is him eating it. No,
Was he
wrong
halfway
one.
through it by this point?
Let's see. I don't know. Oh no, he was waiting for it because we all got our food. But it took so long to make
Everyone
his
got their food.
that he got and me looking like a fat ass. Like this is
No, man. It's
so
funny though that everyone got their food but
Yeah.
Jacob. You know?
yeah, but Jacob because he had so much. Like even my dad, look how much. Like, this is my dad's plate. You know,
That looks good though, man.
yeah, you know,
Is that a Parmigiana or a steak? Your dad's one.
it's a burger. They do an Angus steak burger at McGuire's, and
Okay.
his is like a mushroom and onion. I think Swiss cheese and
Ooh, I've been
mushroom and
craving
onion.
for a mushroom and onion and cheese type of
Yeah,
deal,
yeah.
lady. And Gruss, are you serious? There's a place called Heart Attack Grill in Las Vegas. Like that sounds so freaking appealing. Like,
Yeah.
let's go and get a heart attack, boys. Woo!
If you're over 300 pounds, I think it's free, and then like if you don't eat it, you get
Really?
by the nurse, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So
No shit. Fucking
yeah.
America, you gotta love it.
yeah,
Seriously. Like, is that legit? Well, you just told me. So if you're over 300 pounds, you eat for free. That's one.
Yep.
And two, you get looked after by a doctor too, by a nurse.
yeah. That's the waitresses are nurses.
Legit nurses.
No.
Oh man, imagine that.
No.
That would be.
They're
something
dressed.
else, bro.
They're dressed as nurses. Like
So is it like a sexual innuendo thing going on at Heart
Yeah.
Attack?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well,
And shout
I
out to
mean,
Charles.
it was
That is the shit right there.
it was started by a doctor, like a legit doctor.
Really? Legit.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit of a doctor then.
Yeah.
Like seriously. How can a
So
doctor start a fucking
yeah,
joint
it's
called
in
Heart
Vegas.
Attack?
It's Heart Attack Grill, and like here, I'm trying to find it where I can read some
So
of
is
the
this
stuff.
only in Vegas or is it US wide?
It used to be in Chandler, Arizona. Now it's in downtown Vegas. So the waitresses wear sexy nurse outfits, and each patient
Damn.
dons a hospital gown and a wristband before ordering. And
Oh, come on.
and those who do not finish their food receive a paddle spanking from one of the nurses, with an option to buy the paddle afterwards. So
But
you
but
can
the
go.
hospital gowns, man, for real, it's going too far, man. Has anyone actually had a heart attack while eating there?
I'm
With
sure.
the gown on? With the fucking gown on.
I'm sure. Like, okay,
Damn,
so for
bro.
example, like the thing that makes them, you can get a single to an octuple bypass burger. So it's like one burger.
How does that appeal?
You can get the octuple is 8 patties stacked together.
That's why it's called the octopus.
Yeah, the
God.
octuple bypass, like octuple,
Oh,
like a
8
double
fucking
bypass.
times bypass.
Yeah, yeah. So over
Damn.
350. If you're over 350, you eat for free.
I
Yeah,
wonder how many freaking massive motherfuckers go there.
yeah, a lot.
Bronson Reed would be eating for free, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Or would he just fail? He's around 300 pounds. He might be actually a bit under.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
sucks.
oh,
gotta be
you
one
asked.
big dude.
You asked about deaths, right?
About what?
So about people dying.
Oh yeah, about someone
Yeah.
dying. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is?
So they're here. This is on the Wikipedia page. Illnesses and deaths. The restaurant spokesman, 575-pound Blair River, died March 1st, 2011, age 29, from
Oh,
complications of pneumonia. The
wow.
Arizona location closed shortly after.
29
February 11th.
years old, dying
Yeah.
while eating a heart attack.
He wasn't. He died of complications of pneumonia, not
Oh,
necessarily.
yeah,
But he was their
sure.
spokesman. He was their spokesman.
Yeah.
On February 11th, 2012, a customer suffered what was reportedly an apparent heart attack while eating a triple bypass burger at the restaurant. Restaurant owner John Bosco
say
called
its
for
name and
emergency
it
services.
appears in your chest.
Yeah, John Bosco called for emergency services. The customer was taken to the hospital. Reportedly, patrons thought it was a publicity stunt and started taking photos. Bossa later said, "I actually felt horrible for the gentleman because the tourists were taking photos of him as they were some type of stunt. Even with our own morbid sense of humor, we would never pull a stunt like that." And then on April 21st, 2012, a woman fell unconscious while eating a double bypass burger, drinking alcohol, and smoking. And then February 2013, an unofficial spokesman and daily patron, 52-year-old John Allman, died of an apparent heart attack while waiting at a bus stop in front of the restaurant. So,
in front of a bus stop? At a bus stop in front of the restaurant?
yeah.
What the? But, man, it's just seems like a bad omen. I'm not going to heart attack. Even if I go to Vegas, it's all right. Sounds weird to me.
Yeah.
Too gimmicky for me, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to wear
it,
a gown because I'll be thinking, am I going to get a heart attack eating this shit?
It's a tourist trap. Look, this is like the nurses, and this is like their burger and fries.
The nurses look all right, obviously.
Yeah. You know, but so that's a burger and fries.
A heart attack, bro.
Yeah, that's a double.
Patties?
That one's 2, or maybe 3.
Man, they're huge.
Double bypass. This is the double bypass. Yeah, that's 2. So because they double layer it, so you get a patty with all the stuff.
The bacon looks thick as too.
Yeah, it's thick bacon, and then that's what it looks like. Over $350 each 3.
Holy shit!
That's what it looks like in Vegas.
Why would you do that to people that are over? What happens if that 350-pounder really does die from a heart attack and decides to sue him?
Well, you sign. You sign a whole. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Listen. Get this. Get this. All you can eat flatliner fries cooked in pure lard, beer, and tequila, butterfat milkshakes, and soft drinks such as Mexican Coca-Cola. You can also order
Mexican Coca-Cola, bro. That's the shit.
Yeah. Order
Jarritos, but
yeah. Oh, Harvey, this is good. You can also order unfiltered cigarettes or candy cigarettes for kids.
Candy. You know what they used to call the candy cigarettes here in Australia, bro?
What's that?
Fags.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
I'm being serious. Yeah, because
like in England.
Yeah, it's a slang term for cigarette. So it's like no one says it anymore. But I remember back in the day, especially the real white Australian, Anglo Australians, they'd be like, "Hey, love, give me a fag." You know what I mean? Like, legitimately like that. But the sugar Coke, the sugar cane Coke, that's what we use here.
Yeah.
You guys use corn syrup.
Yeah.
It's cheaper
our sodas
and sweeter. All sugar cane. Right. All our
Yeah.
sodas are sugar cane here.
And I prefer it. Like, I like it better, but
I can't tell bro. Honestly, I drink a lot of like American imported sodas too.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I can't tell the difference, bro, between sugar cane and fucking.
It's subtle. It's subtle. Like, especially because, like, for me, I've had it a lot, right? So then when you get like a Mexican Coke.
Oh, you're talking about the corn syrup.
Yeah. Like our versions of it, right? And then you get a Mexican Coke, and it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, like,
you taught me that. I didn't know that shit. I remember one day we were talking about this off the air, and you were telling me that we use sugar cane and you guys use fucking the corn syrup. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So then I looked it up, and you were right.
Yeah, because it's cheaper, and
I agree with you, Grass. I love Dr. Pepper too, man. Everybody hates it here, but I love it for some reason.
Hey, it's now the number 2 soda in the United States.
True.
It's overtaken Pepsi. So,
I like all their flavors, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Something about Dr.
Even
Pepper,
their zero sugar stuff. Like, I've been drinking zero sugar stuff. Their zero sugar Dr. Peppers are super good. Like,
I haven't had a zero sugar Dr. Pepper, but
they're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good. I like, if I'm gonna go zero sugar, I either get a cherry Coke because that, like, the cherry flavor kind of masks.
Cherry Coke is really their version of freaking of Dr. Pepper in a way, bro. It tastes similar to me.
Sort of. Well, I mean, it's just Dr. Pepper has more nuanced flavors than just a cherry Coke. But
what would you call that flavor? I know it's cola. Technically, Dr. Pepper's cola, right? But like, what would you call that? It's a bit spicy, sort of, but not really.
Yeah, like, yeah. It's got kind of like a spicy, fruity flavor, but not.
Would you call it cinnamon? Maybe
there could be some cinnamon in there. Like, Look,
It's
there's
hard to really put it down,
there's a
yeah.
Dr. Pepper museum here in Texas because it was made here in Texas in Waco. So like, hey, bro, if you ever come down, we'll run down to Waco and we'll go to the Dr. Pepper museum and we'll get you Dr.
I'd love
Pepper
to
merch
go
from the
there,
doctor.
bro.
Yeah, like look, like I
And
told
Dr.
you,
Pepper was a legit doctor too, if I remember right. I was watching a
Mhm.
documentary about it.
yeah, like no,
I think
like
they're starting
there wasn't.
Texas too, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. It's down here. There's a thing down here, a museum in Waco, which is
I like
like
vanilla Coke, by the way, cold blooded. Cherry Coke's a
a.
bit of a yeah. I don't
I
mind
like
vanilla
cherry Coke.
but
Cherry Coke Zero is good because you don't get that cokey flavor, but the Dr. Pepper stuff, man, like I can drink just regular zero Dr.
me too,
Pepper.
dude, and it's bad, dude. I need to stay away from it because I end up getting 2 cans at least every time when I do go and get it.
Yeah, I
It's
get
like, I know,
one.
man.
I've done a good job of just keeping it at one and knocking it down.
It's
I forgot. This is the other thing. Last thing on the heart attack grill. If you eat a triple or a quadruple bypass burger, as a reward, you get placed in a wheelchair and wheeled out by your personal nurse.
ooh, splendid.
So if you
Yeah, but
don't
does she
eat
do
it,
anything else?
you get no. I mean,
Wow.
it's not a brothel, Jimmy. It is
Maybe
Vegas, but it's
someone
not a
needs
brothel.
to come up with something like that.
You got it, so you can work out your burger.
Yeah, why not? I
Yeah.
mean, you'd feel like shit. Actually, you probably wouldn't want to do it,
Oh
but
yeah,
still.
yeah. But like yeah, so let's see. If you don't finish your food, you get spanked by a nurse. If you finish your food, you get wheeled out by a nurse. Do you think people like intentionally tank the burger so they can get spanked by the nurse?
Well, human beings can be pretty weird, and there's a lot of human beings with weird fetishes. I dare say yes.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, there's weird cats out there, bro, that like being spanked. I'm not
yeah,
one of them, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? 100%.
yeah.
I'm sure
Oh,
they tank it.
and yeah, when you come here, Jimmy, we'll get some Texas
Oh, fuck. I
barbecue.
love some Texas barbecue, dude. Hell yeah.
Look, I work.
Fuck yeah, bro. I
So
love Texas barbecue.
they just had the Michelin Guide come to Texas for the first time, and they gave Michelin stars to stuff.
Right,
So I work less than 5 minutes from one of them that got recommended. Didn't get a star, but it got recommended. Panther City Barbecue, and because that's accessible, so we can go there. And then there's a couple other barbecue places, and my buddy Dan, who lives out here, we can do barbecue with him. The other one was Goldie's, that's in Fort Worth, but like you have to show up at like 5 in the morning and wait until
What?
11 when they
That
open because
packed?
they're only open like Friday, Saturday, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or like 3 days.
So they make that much money that they don't even need to be like open 7 days a week, basically.
Yeah, because what they'll do, people will show up, and like by the time you get there, you're in line waiting, and you wait and you wait and you wait to get in to eat because their stuff is so good. They have people who will go in the line. So if you show up and you see that sign, you didn't make it that day because they cook for the day, right? So once they're out, they're out. They're not.
Fuck.
That's how a lot of really good barbecue places do it. They cook their meat for the day, and then they kind of guesstimate. They know how many poundage and what they're going to serve. So then, there's that, and then Austin has some really good central. Like
Austin's not part of Texas anymore, but
we'll go to my cousins had a lease down near Fredericksburg, Llano area. And Llano has Cooper's Barbecue, which is really good. They have one in Fort Worth too that we can go to. But like, we've got
what would be the best one? What Texas city would be the best like Texan barbecue, basically?
Well, okay, if we're gonna go,
I feel like Houston would be up there.
But Austin has got like so. I'm gonna tell you this, Austin, because Franklin is there, Terry Black's, all these kind of stuff in that area. That they got Michelin stars for those barbecue places, like for Austin-based. Franklin didn't get a Michelin star, by the way, though. Russ. But Franklin is legendary. It's good. Again, Franklin's the same thing. You got to show up, or if you get there, they're out of food. They're out of food. Like
that's crazy, man.
But like you got Terry Black's, you got Franklin, you've got all these different barbecue places there. In Austin.
Damn it, this is well and truly the snack attack.
Yeah, look, it's good. And I mean, and that was the thing. So for example, where we want okay, so let me give you these. All right. La Barbecue in Austin got a Michelin star. Interstellar Barbecue in Austin got a Michelin star.
So Austin's the shit basically for Texas barbecue. In other words,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Another barbecue place that got one. This is Houston's Corkscrew Barbecue. And these are all on the Michelin star. This is in Austin. Leroy and Lewis Barbecue got a Michelin star. And then let's see. Then Bib Gourmand. It's good quality, good value cooking. So it's not a Michelin star, but it's considered really good up there. Distant Relatives Barbecue got that.
Distant Relatives.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Cadillac, which spelled like cattle, like CATT,
like cattle,
and then ACK.
I like it.
Yeah, that got a Michelin star. It's a barbecue place. Blood Brothers Barbecue got in Bel Air. That got a star. Goldie's, Lockhart, which is there in Austin. You got that's in Pearland. Franklin got a Bib Gourmand. So like there's some, like, Austin is probably the way it went down. Austin and then Houston and then Dallas, I think, got the most.
Houston number 2.
Houston, Spring, that kind of general area. So those all got really good reviews from the Michelin stars. So I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where you like what you like. So.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for a fact. I mean, Texas barbecue, I'd love to fucking genuine Texas barbecue. I'd love to have. There's some joints here, but I mean, still Texas barbecue, but not exactly from Texas, if you know what I mean. But
well, I mean, like, what makes Texas barbecue great is brisket, right? That's brisket and sausage.
See, brisket's not a huge deal here, but I mean, people eat it. I don't mind it. But yeah, brisket.
Like brisket,
I love a brisket burger. Even
brisket and burnt ends and sausage are what are the things that make Texas barbecue.
What sort of sausage? But would be a Texan sausage?
Usually like a cheddar jalapeno.
Ooh,
yeah,
sounds good. A cheddar jalapeno, so it'd have jalapeno and cheddar in there.
Yeah,
that's the shit, bro.
It is so good.
I like
it's good. And like my buddy Dan, who has a barbecue place here, and he's getting to be big time. He was in Fort Worth this week for a big show, and I went with.
Seems to be a demand for this shit, bro. It looks like bro,
if you are like that's the thing. If you are good, you're fucking good. Like it's good. Like he's like so he did. So this past Thursday, Ashley and I went to the Fort Worth Food and Wine Foundation. Had this night market where they had like 12 different food vendors and 12 different bars with their signature drinks. So you pay $60, $65 a ticket, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink.
Damn.
Right? Yeah. So we went to Locust Cider beforehand, local cider place that she likes, and got her pregame for people, and then went and ate. And Dan, for his offering, he took a pork belly, which he smoked, barbecued, he made a Korean barbecue sauce, made a pickled carrot, put that on there, put it on a tortilla with some sesame seed and some spring onion and all that stuff. And
spring onion's a bomb too,
dude. And I'm telling you, that thing was so good. It was so good. But like, there was so many really neat places to go try. But like, he was really the only barbecue place there, right? So
that's why he's cleaning up, dude.
And he's like. But no, I mean, he's making a name right. Like he doesn't have a brick and mortar place. He has a trailer in front of a brick and mortar place that's called the Antebellum Ale House here in town. But the dude is making so much money. He's smoking, he's grilling. Like he smokes his mac and cheese, dude. He takes his
What?
mac and cheese, makes it, and smokes it, and gives it
No
such a
way,
good
dude.
flavor. He makes
I've never heard of smoked mac and cheese, bro.
You're gonna like this. His baked
Damn.
beans that he does, his smoked baked beans that he does it with Dr. Pepper. So they're Dr. Pepper baked beans.
What?
Yes. People love them.
Dr. Pepper baked beans.
Yes. They love him. And
Dude
then
just
here's
cringed. She's like, ew. She hates
dude,
Dr. Pepper though. I like Dr. Pepper so.
his
And I
burnt
don't
ends
mind
are
baked
so
beans,
good.
So I might like it personally.
Oh, you would love it. You would love it. So his burnt ends are so good, and then he does it where you can do you can pick any meat and put it with the smoked mac as a meal. So like you can get brisket with smoked mac, you can get chopped or sliced, you can get turkey, you can get the burnt ends. You like sometimes he does the beef ribs, right? Not pork ribs.
Oh, I love ribs,
but
dude. A good fucking rib is the shit too.
A
man.
good beef rib too.
Ooh.
Like a beef rib, like looking like a dinosaur bone where you just like
like
going
just
to
a
town
big
with that
rib
sucker.
cage.
Yeah, like it's look, I love it. Like it looks like this
Damn,
big
dude,
and this
stop
big
it.
and then
man, I'm gonna end up just taking off now and getting food.
There you go. So yeah, like he crushes it, and then but like there's some really good places in the area, that you go and try and have barbecue, and it's like, all right, this is good. Like everybody does it their own way in their own specific style, but at the same time too, it's good. Like it's, I know, yeah, we're good.
You're right, Frank. Australia does have the best beef. That's a known fact. Actually, we import a lot of beef to you guys.
Yeah.
Because of that reason. Plus, our cattle is very. You're not going to get foot and mouth disease and any of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Especially that happens in the UK.
Except Japan. Japan's beef is better.
Oh, that's debatable. Australian and Japanese beef are the two main ones, but it's debatable, bro. I mean, I'm talking about quality of beef, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Quality and the way it's produced.
Have you had Japanese Wagyu?
Oh,
have
yeah,
you had?
Absolutely, I love that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
right.
To be honest with you, I can't. Japanese food is overrated for me, bro.
See,
like most of it is fucking crap. Let's be real, dude. I don't want to eat a live fish in my fucking soup. Or you know what I'm saying, dude.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Like, but I mean, like sushi is pretty top tier, especially if you get it. But I
prefer Korean, if anything, and Chinese food to me is the best Asian food.
Look, I will say this: Chinese food is the most diverse and flavorful, and I think it's the best. If you're gonna go Asian food,
I love Japanese culture and the people.
Yeah,
but their food, nah, bro. Keep your food in the sea. They just fucking put anything alive and you eat it, bro. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't sound racist because I'm not trying to be. I'm just being real, man.
I'm just being Australian. That's all.
Okay. We're unapologetically racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that's the other thing I want to talk to you about the politician,
the Maori fucking deal.
The New Zealand politician, Maori politician. Yeah. No, and I mean, you were like, why do people fucking care about the haka? Like, no, it's not about the haka. It's about the awareness she's bringing to the fact that people are trying to the shit that they're trying to pull in the government, right? And her standing up to it.
I've seen it. Right?
Doing it in a meaningful way. Like people are like, it's just one more thing of people like, fuck the government, right? I mean, we just had this election, right, with Trump and everything, and everybody's calling it the red wave, and he came in and
you guys are crazy, bro.
But here's the thing, right? Okay, people are like, oh well, it was this. Well, okay, obviously we have an issue here because women, Latinos, and blacks and minorities all majority voted for Trump, right? So it was people are tired of the bullshit. They're tired of the bullshit. And at least with Trump, there's no bullshit, right? That's what.
Dude, I've lost a lot of followers for fucking mentioning Trump on my Twitter account. No shit. And I don't know if I want to even say anything about this. Right? And I'm not even American, man.
I'm just saying. What I mean? Yeah, look, I'm one of those people.
And I got heat, bro.
Look, it's one of those things where whether you voted for the person or not, yes, there's going to be differences. Don't get fucking crybaby bullshit about it. You know,
Yeah, it's dude. Do you know Caitlyn fucking what's her name? The one that left WWE recently, bro.
Caleb Braxton.
Kayla Braxton, that's the one.
Okay.
Did you see what she was saying on her Twitter after the fucking election?
No.
Dude, like I read that shit and I'm like, girl, seriously, go to bed. Like seriously, go look it up, please look it up because I can't remember for word. But basically, she's saying it's the end of America. Basically, it's we're all fucked now. Like women's rights is out the window because Kamala was all about women's rights and all this bullshit. Like, come on, man, are you gonna exaggerate that fucking bad, man? Like, really? Like, come on. That's it, Charles. You voted for Harris and life still fucking goes on, man. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. But what fascinates me about American politics, though, you can't talk to even your friend at times about who you voted and whatnot, because that could cause fucking friction, man. Like, that's kind of fucked up, like, to me. Like, really, politics shouldn't fucking fuck any sort of friendship or relationship up. But I've seen it fuck up people, man, and it blows my mind. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it. Yeah, Trump is a cocksucker. I get it as a person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Some of his beliefs are fucked up. Like now, the thing that worries me about Trump, really, is him being close friends with Erdogan, for example. Him being close to fucking Putin in some ways, even. You know what I mean? What happens to Ukraine and all that shit. But as a business guy, like as a mind, you can't deny like he's good for the job in that sense. You know what I mean? Like because he's all about fucking numbers, man.
Yeah.
And in that sense, he gets it. But I also understand how, one thing I've learned with America, because I didn't understand it at first, right? I remember going back now when he first got elected. I remember asking all the boys. I think I even asked you even, but I asked Jug. I go, so let me get this straight. If you don't like a person, it doesn't matter how good of a president they are. They're just cocksuckers. Like we don't like him. Doesn't matter if he's good. It doesn't matter if unemployment is at a record lows and whatnot. If you guys don't like the person, it doesn't matter. Like it's irrelevant how good they are for the country or not. And everyone said, yeah, that's basically it. If we don't like someone, it doesn't matter how good they are. It's like. Fuck you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and which is stupid.
Am I onto something? That's what I've been told.
No, you're not wrong at all. Like it's like, well, it's that really dumb thing of like I can't be happy because your person is better than my person, right? I can't be, like it's stupid. It's so dumb.
Did you see Caleb, by the way, what she wrote? I swear I've lost so much respect for her after that, man. It's so over dramatic, dude.
It sounds like things I haven't heard from everybody else that I'm like, okay.
You gotta go right the day that Trump pretty much elected himself as fucking the winner. Not officially, but everyone knew he was done. It was that night. I remember she wrote it. Yeah, Labrat, you're right. It isn't no different to the hardcore wrestling fans. And Gruss also. I could only imagine talking politics in the US at work. Oh my God. Imagine you were high up the pecking order and your boss. Oh yeah, no worries, thanks. And you're up the pecking order, and then your boss doesn't agree with you politically. There goes your career.
Yeah.
I can just see that happening, dude. It's like, what the fuck? But see, Brad, hardcore wrestling fans are fucking. Some of them are dopes, man. But yeah, Gruss is also hitting nail. It's more particular AEW fucking hardcores are your dopes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate saying that because I'm all for pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Now this is a wrestling show technically. I'm just saying like I want AEW to succeed, but their fan base straight up. I want to say it now are fucking dorks, man. I can't stand dorks, bro. Like even when you look at watch the TV shows and you look at the crowds of each promotion, it's night and day, dude. They look like a bunch of sad fucks in AEW, the crowd. Whereas AEW, at least it's got WWE, it's got some classy fans, There's more better looking fans. Like, does that make sense, man? Like, it's modern gamers are the biggest punzers, bro. Sonic, just quietly. Fucking hell. Don't even get me started on that shit. God. especially the motherfuckers that play GTA online. It's a whole other story about. I play that game online, Tenneke. Yeah,
And-
exactly that, Brad. I know there's sickos, and you're right, exactly, Hammer. Makes sense, right? I mean, fuck. Humans are a whole bunch of whack jobs, bro. We're all whack in one way or the other.
We are. Look.
No, honestly, let's be honest, dude. We're all fucked in some.
Look.
How the fuck do we argue about pro wrestling, dude? Why is it even tribal? It's not like we're fucking. I mean, come on.
It's fake fighting entertainment. Like
that's what I mean.
It's a male soap opera. Like
it's bizarre, bro.
Enjoy what you like to enjoy. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Like, move on. Like, I mean, same thing. Like, judge a politician by his actions, not his words, right? And then if you don't like it, vote him out. I mean, it's not that hard. You have the power. You have the power. Hold him accountable to what he says, and if you don't like it and you don't like the job he's done, guess what? You can change it by voting him the fuck out. So, look, and I don't understand why people make it so hard and like get so like, I can't believe you voted for Trump. You're a terrible human being.
It's one thing I've never understood about American fucking politics, bro. That's the one thing
I don't get it either, Jimmy. And I live here, and I'm like, like women, women.
From?
I don't know, because it's like women going, "Oh, if you're a woman and you voted for Trump, you're a fucking traitor and you deserve to die," and like stuff like that. I'm like,
who says that shit over politics, man?
It's politics.
Fuck
like
me.
I don't know. I don't know, Jimmy. But I do know this, that, that civil, like, the people are saying we're doomed to have a political civil war. But the one thing I do know, Jimmy, is that we are in a civil war between the tribals, the tribal chiefs. And the bloodline civil war is the thing that we need to talk about. So, Jimmy, because we've kind of been going for around an hour now.
Line right now. It's
a
little bloody, the line.
We're gonna bloody the line with a little civil war between the OTC and the new tribal chief. So, Jimmy, I guess we should talk SmackDown. We've had a good.
Should we talk smack?
We
talk about news.
Yeah, we touched on it a touch. We touched on it a touch.
Well, technically, we spoke about political news, but
Yeah, and we talked about Jake Paul, and we talked about
really
MMA.
The fight properly though. They were supposed to talk about Tyson and friggin'
what fight though? What fight, Jimmy?
Look, I want to say one thing, and I said this on my Twitter, right? Jake Paul, if he fucking wanted to, could have knocked him out in round one, but he didn't. He had every opportunity to absolutely kill him, put him out of his misery, and I respect him for the fact that he didn't do it, bro. Because he's knocked out everyone else before that, believe it or not, even with the ones he lost. He's knocked every mofo he's fought against. I could see he was taking it easy, dude. I love Tyson. I'm a Tyson guy, man.
But Tyson, it felt the same way. Like, seeing him. Right? Like all the training videos we saw of Tyson, then we get into the ring and you watch it and it's like, wait, where's the guy that was in those training videos, the vicious fighter, like the dude, look, I know they only had
one overhead, which is his trademark.
Yeah,
the right hand overhead punch.
Like,
I was waiting for that to launch. He didn't even throw that.
Like, but I mean, I get it. We had 8. It was 8 rounds. It was 2 minutes instead of 3. They were on 14-ounce gloves, which is 2 ounces less than sparring gloves. Stuff like that. Like, I know there was all these things that they were doing to like. I don't know.
Not the same. He's not. Yeah, exactly that, Brad. Tyson felt like a tranquilizer bear in this match. He was just, man, I'm telling you now, he did Tyson a favor, Jake Paul, man. Jake Paul legitimately did. He let that, look, he did a favor for Netflix. He did a favor for the people in attendance.
But Netflix did not do themselves any favors, because
that's true too. But I can report in Australia, it seemed like there was no issues with Netflix. None at all, man.
Yeah. So now that was part of the reason why I didn't watch, was because I when I finally got home and I turned it on, it was like it was the female fight was on, but it kept
that
glitching.
was a fight, bro.
I didn't get to see it.
That was a robbery.
I didn't get to see it. So
I couldn't believe it, dude. Oh.
Like I said, I think the only thing I saw, because I was at the restaurant, was the Barrios Romero.
Yeah, that was
fight.
a great fight too, and that went all the way. That went the distance as well.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that one. That was a really good fight.
But
And,
the women's match was the fight of the night, bro. By far, trust me. Like that was brutal.
right? But like that fight
brutal.
too. The fact that Ramos Barrios fight ended in a legit split draw, I was like, oh damn! Like
that was a legit draw. I'll say that. That you
Yeah.
couldn't separate him, dude. No one even. Like, no one could actually, even the commentators were like, fuck, I don't know who to give it to. Like,
yeah.
that was a legit draw. That legit as legit can be. The women's match was not a fucking legit draw, but what a joke. Like,
speaking of commentary, right? Okay. So we had
Mamma Mia.
Mauro Ranallo, but Rosie Perez?
Why? Why Rosie Perez?
What?
And Roy Jones Jr. for fuck's sake.
Well, like I get Roy Jones Jr. Right?
Know,
you got Mauro, and
like,
I get Roy, but Rosie Perez, like, what the fuck?
And apparently she what did Mauro say? There was a point where Mauro was saying she's the fuck, what was it? Like the concierge of boxing out of the females. What was it? Oh, the queen of female boxing. Like she knows everything. I'm thinking, get the fuck out of here, man.
What?
She's an actress. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know shit about boxing.
No.
I don't even know why she was there. Like, for real. Like,
I don't either.
Like, that doesn't make sense. And who's that
Nobody
British
does.
chick that looks like Beyonce? Anybody?
I don't know.
Cedric the Entertainer entertained me, though, Grass, a little bit. But he wasn't technically the commentator. He was just like the panel guy.
Yeah. But, like, look, it was interesting. You know, it was a spectacle. Of course, it was here in my, in my town, at Jerry World at the Death Star. So.
Did he say she had a star on the Walk of Fame, but she doesn't? Mauro was on something last night, man. He was acting weird, bro.
Right, look,
I feel like he was on, maybe it's the antidepressants. We all know he suffers from depression.
Yeah.
And all that shit. It could be that, but he was flying, bro. He was flying.
He was on some shit. So
it could be Adderall, it could be meth. I don't know, man. But that motherfucker was flying and saying some whacked out shit, bro.
Oh,
even shout out to WB, by the way.
That's what it was. Cold Blooded says Mauro Ranallo was saying that she had a Hollywood.
I said that. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's off his face.
Yeah. Who knows? But anyway,
Cedric the Entertainer was on there. You didn't see him?
Yeah, he was on the panel, I think, between fights and stuff.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So,
having fun there, bro. I don't know, bro. Antidepressants can get you fucking pretty.
They can mess with you.
Out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Look, it was a thing. It was a spectacle. It happened. It was here at Jerry World. Jerry Jones made a shit ton of money because he can't make it with his team because he doesn't know how to run a football team, which is fine by me because I don't like him anyway.
At least the cheerleaders were there. The Cowboys cheerleaders.
There is that, again, because it's Jerry, and heaven forbid we actually, do something good for our football team. But hey, we got Jerry World, and let's do shit like this, right? So
what he's done for the Cowboys. That's what he's going to say. I built these damn stadium. Well, the taxpayers did, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. You won 3 Super Bowls almost 30 years ago. Nothing since for
crazy.
30 years, Jerry.
That blows my mind. When you told me that last time, I'm like, come on, dude. I remember when they won it like it was yesterday. How can you tell me 30 years ago?
Almost 30 years ago.
That's bizarre, bro.
Yeah, he has run that team to shit because he's in charge. Jimmy did all the stuff in the beginning, and then Jerry got upset because people were praising Jimmy and not him. So, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, anyhow,
let's get into fucking SmackDown.
And speaking of SmackDown, then because last night was November 15th, we were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Preserve Forum. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't care.
The Vizard Forum or whatever the fuck. It's a bit weird.
Preserve.
That's why I'm wearing a Milwaukee shirt right now.
Yeah, I don't know. So, Michael, we open with Michael Cole, doing everything like, hey, we're going to get started. And then Cody's music hits. And so, speaking of holding people back, we have Cody, and he's talking to Nick Aldis because he wants Kevin Owens. But Nick Aldis says no. He understands the anger and the damage Orton took last week for that brutal pile driver.
Brutal.
It was
so worked. That pole driver was so brutal.
So brutal, Jimmy. Like, I don't know how Randy Orton's standing, Jimmy. Like,
I mean, is he even alive at this point?
I don't know. He's probably dead.
Probably dead. We haven't heard. We don't know.
I mean, it wasn't a tombstone pile driver though, Jimmy. So
it was a pile driver, which is worse than a tombstone pile driver. Apparently,
yeah. Did you see some of the different angles of the pictures of the pile driver where
it was like, not only any pile driver, it was a sit down pile driver, bro.
Yeah. And like
he pile
Kevin
drived him to the couch.
Yeah, and like Randy Orton is probably like 3 feet from the mat when he hits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He pole drives him to the couch.
Yeah. So it's funny. Morning, Jerome. Good to see you. And morning to Sonic. I forgot to say hey, and Zane. Morning to you as well. Good to see y'all this morning.
Xaney.
Yeah, Zane. So but yeah, like too, man. But Randy is just broken, and so Cody comes out.
His voice is in his head. He was broken a long time ago. Clearly, he's got schizophrenia.
Right.
And hasn't actually done anything about it.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, he took damage and then he's been gone so many months and I'm angry and acknowledges the hazard involved by the use of the pile driver last week. It's a bad move, Jimmy. It's a bad move. Oh my God.
Bad move.
To keep our generation.
Says Kevin Owens is one vicious competitor, man.
Yeah. I mean,
the most vicious, more vicious than even Zayn vicious.
I know, right? Like Zayn is not nearly as vicious as Kevin Owens, but yeah, and that it was banned to keep keep their generation from being stuck in wheelchairs 20 years down the line.
Yeah.
And then he says, hey, because he crossed that line, he's not allowed to be here. Hey, you let me handle this.
They crossed the line though. They both crossed the line to TNA 2 years back.
And AEW.
Yeah, but TNA slogan was "Cross the line." Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah. Hey, Cody tells the GM to let him handle this, calling Owens indignant, among other things. Also, this isn't about money. This is about the roster knowing that Nick knows that if you give them an inch, they'll take him out. He can't let the inmates run the asylum. So the situation with Owens must be resolved internally. Cody can't stand the phrasing here, saying he understands where all this is coming from, but that he's a wrestler. I know you're a wrestler. You're still a wrestler. And he goes, I did like the line where he says, I know you underneath that suit. Like, you're because they've wrestled each other before, right? And so he's like, I know you. You're a wrestler. And you put yourself in Cody's shoes. Imagine being the one about
All In, the original All In.
Yeah. So I like that subtle callback without just being so on the nose about it. That was nice. It was good storytelling. And imagine being the one to have to tell Orton's family, and he's being blamed for what happened. And he talks about Randy giving him respect at WrestleMania and how much it meant to him. And if you can't get this handled in the ring, what do you expect him to do? Knows that Nick doesn't want Cody handling things outside of the ring. Ball's in the GM's court, and Cody won't be waiting very long. And he drops the mic and walks out. So it was an interesting segment.
Dude, I'm gonna dare say this is one of the most passionate promos of Cody's freaking career, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's like interesting.
Honestly, I'm being dead serious.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying interesting in the sense of like it started off like, all right, great, another Cody promo. But by the time he finished, I was invested. I was like,
legit.
Okay, like, all right, cool. Like, because I mean, normally you and I, like, we both kind of agree Cody's bland. Like, it's a boring promo, blah, blah, blah.
This one hit, man. Like, usually, like, even when Cody comes out, I'm a fan of Cody. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
but, I'll start looking at my phone. You know what I mean? As he's talking, I'm listening to what he's saying. But at one point, from looking at my phone, I looked up. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I like what he's saying. You know what I mean? Now he's got my attention. And even Aldous freaking hit it out the park too.
I think that's the thing, right? Aldous and Cody work well together. Like the back and forth that they've had when they do these promos, they do it really, really well. And Aldous was great in this, in that, like, it wasn't what he said, right? It's his reactions to Cody, right? Because it was when Cody says, when the line where he says, "Hey, I know who you are underneath that suit. I know you're a wrestler." Like you see Aldis's face, his reaction in that moment of I know it. I hate this. I hate this, but like this is what I have to do. This is who I am. Even though
he is, you think?
Yeah,
Because surely his ultimate goal is to be a wrestler. I know he's taken his job just to get, hopefully, to a wrestling role. I mean, surely.
But I mean, look, Gruss says Aldis is better than Adam Pearce, of course. But look, let's be honest. Adam Pearce was a wrestler too, right? But then
the scrap daddy.
Yeah, but he's gotten into this role, and hey, this is a good role. Aldis could be thinking the same thing. Look, I'm in my 40s. Could I wrestle still? Yes, but is this a great way to make money?
He's 40, bro. He's hitting 40.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy?
Is he 40? I feel like he's younger than that.
He's about to hit 40. He's close to
He's
40.
39. He's 39. Okay. Yeah.
And when is his birthday? I think March, was it?
June 30th.
Okay, he's not that far from 40, bro.
He's
7 months away.
7 months, 8 months. Yeah. Yeah, 7, 8 months. So because it's June 30th. So towards the end of June. But yeah, but I don't know. Like they worked well together. Aldis selling this, his acting in this, his reactions to Cody is what made this even better. And Cody's passion about this was solid. So that's why I said interesting in the sense of I was expecting one thing and really it came out to be. And you know how I am about talking segments, Jimmy. I fucking hate them.
Definitely.
But this one was way better than most. And then we cut to, after the end of this, a backstage segment. Again, more talking, but again, I'm interested because Jimmy's on the phone with Roman, and he checks in with Jay and Sammy. They're going to talk strategy for War Games, but Jimmy points out they still need a fifth member. Sammy has an idea, and the Usos are trying to figure out who it could be. And so then and then after that, Bayley's making her way to the ring for a triple threat match for the Women's United States Championship tournament. So Jimmy, I know it's been a minute since I've been here. Since the last time we have talked, we've now been introduced to a Women's United States Championship belt.
Right. You're right. And it's been a while since you and I have actually been on the show, funny enough, at the same time, which is odd. But yeah, do you agree with this? A mid friggin' women's championship.
So, I mean, we're running into danger of becoming AEW, right? How many belts are at AEW? You've got the Ring of Honor Championship, the TV belt. You've got the Intercontinental, the Continental. You've got
the Continental belt.
Right. The Fandango belt. You've got the tag belt. Yeah, I don't know.
Dingo stole my baby belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's they showed a graphic of all the champions in AEW at the moment, and it's just
I'm a champion in AEW, dude. Don't you know? Look me up. Do you know what I am? The champion. Doesn't matter what belt it is.
Yeah.
I agree with Zane. A good rib is a good rib, if you know what I mean. We're talking about ribs before, actually, Zane.
Yeah, barbecue ribs.
Just not the type of rib you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
The actual rib.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand it, right? Okay, because you want to feature the women more. And so this is a way, without having the women's championship belts, be the focus. And then you could tell secondary stories without that, right? That makes sense. I understand what they're trying to do, but now, so that means on SmackDown, we have the men's heavyweight champion, right? We have the women's heavyweight champion.
But yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? I
know what you're saying, right?
Yeah. And then we have the men's U.S. champion. We'll have the women's U.S. champion. We'll have the men's tag titles and the women's tag titles.
Doesn't seem that many. If you're supposed to keep it separate brand.
Right.
But they haven't been doing that because everyone from SmackDown was on Raw this past week. Everyone from fucking Raw was on SmackDown this week.
But it's War Games, Jimmy! It's War
Of course,
Games.
that's the excuse. That's the excuse. It's Survivor Series, pal.
Now,
You know what I
and
mean?
Jimmy,
it's co-branded.
yeah. And let me ask you this, Jimmy, too. How do you feel about the culmination of this tournament being at Saturday night's main event?
I like it.
I think it's
mean,
neat.
I've always been a fan growing up. With Saturday night's main event. So to me, it's total nostalgia. I always get giddy when they announce the Saturday night's main event. I don't know why. It just brings me back to the good old days of the 80s, particularly. But yeah, no, I'm cool with that. You want to, even though it's not a pay-per-view or PLE, whatever you want to call it these days, but think of it as a Clash of Champions. It was WWE's version of Clash of the Champions per se.
Right.
It's like a pay-per-view for television. You know what I mean?
Right. It was a way
to be treated.
To get that, and it was done at late night too, like after Saturday Night Live. So it was like really cool in that aspect.
No, it was when Saturday Night Live took a hiatus when they were off season.
Was it?
Yeah, that's when Saturday Night's main event would take over the slot of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
When they weren't on, that's when WWE would be on.
So how do you feel about the design of the belt?
You know, it's the same as the men's one.
It's just white.
Yeah, I mean, what's
Just
there
white.
to say? I like the men's version is possibly the best looking championship in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
No, Grass, we don't need a US Tag Team Championship. Come on, bro. For fuck's sake.
Hey, USA, USA, USA.
I want to call you Tony Grass from now on, bro.
What if they call the SmackDown titles the US Tag titles?
No, but then that just makes it less of, doesn't it?
I know, right?
If you got world titles and then you got US titles, I mean,
no, I know.
What's the US champions gonna be like? They're gonna be like, yeah, we're the US Tag Team Champions. We're better than you. No, you're not.
Yeah.
We're the world champions. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't do that, dude. You can't. It's too late. Even if they thought about it, it's too late.
Yeah, and look, Sonic says, awesome, more titles we know aren't going to change hands on Raw or SmackDown. Fair enough.
You're right. For most part, it won't. But you do get the occasional,
mid-card title.
We have had them mid-card. We get them pretty regularly, but there is the occasional world championship change. But they haven't really been doing it lately, man.
When's the last time that a world championship has changed hands?
I believe it was AJ Styles defeating what's his name, the Indian dude that's released.
My
God,
damn!
Jinder My Balls.
Jinder My Balls. Yeah,
that's the one. I believe if memory serves me right, that was the last time. I could be wrong. But if you want to get interesting, when was the last time a world championship changed hands on a house show? It used to happen, believe it or not, though.
Yeah, it was very rare, but it happened. I don't know. Probably because somebody got hurt during the match
for the first champ, even taking place on SmackDown. What do you mean by the first champ?
This like for this U.S. Women's title.
Oh, for the U.S. Women's title.
No,
it's
Saturday Night's main
SmackDown, culminating though at Saturday Night's main event,
right?
To crown your new.
So it'll still be on free TV, but not on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar beating Kofi. Grass is right on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
If you want to call it a match, right? It was bullshit. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Grass, you're 100% right, dude. That was the
good
last
call,
time.
Grass.
Before that was AJ Styles 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot about that, man. Fuck, how did I forget that?
Yeah.
And wasn't it the first one on Fox, I believe? Memory serves me right, Grass?
Yeah.
It was the first
it was the opening
show on Fox, right?
Yeah. That's right. 5 years ago then. So
crazy.
So Bailey comes down, and for the tournament we have a commercial break. We come back. Then Candice LeRae comes down, and BFAT. This one surprised me a little bit. Like Candice LeRae, I was like, all right, cool. But then BFAT is the third person.
Stay off my television. I can't stand it on Raw, bro. Now I have to see on SmackDown too. Really, bro? Not just once, but twice.
Yeah. Well, I thought
that fucked.
She's on SmackDown.
No, isn't she a Raw bitch?
She's with the Street Profits.
Oh no, Big Fab. Yeah, I'm talking about fucking.
Oh, Candice LeRae. You're talking about Candice LeRae. The Poison Pixie. Candice LeRae.
Makes me sick, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan. She's bland as hell. She's bland looking. I mean, what is she, bro? She can't even wrestle well.
She's the wife of Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, and who's taller, bro? Get out of here, man. They're both dorks, both of them.
Him
They're
by
both
like
legit
half an
dorks,
inch.
dude.
Yeah.
No, really, don't they both look like dorks?
No, they are. They're
Like legit, man. Legit. Sorry,
we're
but,
going to Disney World for the 15th time, and look at our
shut
bunny
the fuck
ears.
up.
And,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does matter, Zane. It matters a lot, actually.
It matters a lot. Yeah. So this is our opening match of the night, which is a triple threat for the Women's United States Championship tournament. So we have Bayley, B-Fab, and Candice LeRae, and we already know who's going to win, right? Like, looking at this bracket, we know who's going to win. Now, this match, can we? It was not good. It was not good. It was not good at all. Like, there were so many times where I felt like somebody didn't know what the fuck they were supposed to be doing.
It's because of Candice LeRae being in the match, dude. When she's in there, no one knows what the fuck they do, bro.
Yeah. Like,
the poison pixie. Give me a break, Russ.
That's why she's called the poison pixie, because she poisons every match.
She can eat a dick, but not my one. I'm an asshole, man. Why am I saying that, man?
Nah,
Forget I even said that.
Yeah, you're
I just
good.
don't like her, man. I can't stand her.
The smudge finish was, whatever. We had, what is it? Candice LeRae, like Bayley hitting the Bayley to belly, and then B-Fab on B-Fab, and then Candice LeRae shoved Bayley out, and they went for an exchange, and then finally, like, Candice LeRae gets thrown out, but then B-Fab gets a slap on Bayley and gets her up to do a devastating move and picks her up and puts her between your legs, but then Bayley reverses that and turns it into a cradle for a 1-2-3 for the win. So,
Labrad's comment.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh, man. Even when she was the face, she was the poison pixie. Get her off my TV. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's what I just don't like. Yeah, man. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. But come on, man.
Yeah. Sonic. Like, this was a good one. Until they win the tag titles, they have the street deficits, and they don't. I ain't seen no profits with them in a long time.
I want to know what profits. What does the profit part mean? What are they profits of?
Profit.
The streets. Yeah,
no.
So they make all this money off the street.
Yeah. That's.
I don't see them on the streets, but I see them on television.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Street profits.
Jimmy, it's wrestling. When does wrestling make sense, Jimmy?
I don't get, man. At least make it sort of realistic.
But they're being hip and cool, Jimmy. They're being hip and cool, Jimmy. All right.
And like Russ said too, man, and Sonic, the friggin' roll up, man.
The mightiest move.
The most devastating. We forget the pole driver, dude. The roll up. Trust me,
Jimmy.
It means they sell drugs.
Sonic?
Are you saying WWE is trying to be stereotypical over here? I mean, is that what's going on? But see what I mean? But he's right.
Wouldn't be a first. Wouldn't be a first time that's happened.
That's what I hate about WWE, but like how they do that shit, but with a little wink, like see what we're doing? Wink, wink.
Putting Bobby Lashley with a group, calling it the Hurt Locker, right? Like,
you mean the Hurt Business?
Hurt Business, yeah. You know what I mean?
Now it's the Syndicate Business.
The Hurt Syndicate.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Hurt Syndicate. Whatever the fuck. What does that even mean?
But yeah, like, I mean, look, Jimmy, you can't blame it all on WWE because obviously this is something they're bringing to the table. Because look, when they leave, they bring stuff over. Like Bobby Lashley and MVP, and they're calling themselves the Hurt Syndicate instead of the Hurt Business.
It sounds like a hemorrhoid.
It sounds like something.
I mean, fucking the Hurt Syndicate. Like, what the fuck? I love those guys though. I mean, straight up. At least they give me a reason to half enjoy AEW, even though I have to talk about it. But no shit, man. Those three guys are three of my favorites. Even though Shelton, like we were saying before, he's got no personality, but he's just a killer, and that's enough for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And MVP's MVP. He talks.
Yeah. And we know that, Sonic. But like the point is, you could do anything, but you still fell back on, instead of calling it Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate. which is an amalgam for business, but like still, like
someone on Twitter, and I can't remember the name, but they came up with a better version of the name. They even made me be like, "Oh yeah, why don't they say that? Use that," but I forgot what it was. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it made
But
more
I
sense
also,
than the Hurt Syndicate. You know what I mean?
but I also get that you wanna tread on what people know, right? They last saw you as that, so tread on that to make money off and keep making money off that. You know, so
And like the Hammer says too about the Prophets, it never made sense. Way too much comedy with the Street Profits, but now they want to be serious though, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. You go from comedy and freaking hugging babies, which was a cool moment though. Don't get me wrong. I'll never forget that. That was only because the kid looked like it was not even 1 year old and was loving Montez Ford, man, which was a cool moment.
that
But
was
in saying
awesome.
that, it was a great moment. But in saying that, you go from fucking comedy and bullshit to like suddenly we give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first it was the magic stick, now it's the magic wand. What about Magic Don Juan?
I
You
don't
should
know.
get him as the actual fucking could be he should take over B Fab. He can be their fucking manager. Imagine that.
Why not?
Magic Don Juan.
But this is for my Twitch. Cody Burris says the new Raw logo was revealed last night on the Paul Tyson
I
event.
saw that. It's just
did.
Raw with an extendo on the R all the way around.
Kind of like the SmackDown.
Sort of, yeah.
Because that's
I
what
guess.
the SmackDown is. That's what SmackDown is.
Yeah. The Essex, like the R's got a tail that goes all the way around the Raw logo, basically.
Yeah.
It looks
like,
all right.
like the SmackDown one. So
Gives me Netflix vibes, but I'm just saying that because Raw and Netflix are both red. Yeah, that's true. He actually did. He had clubs, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's like everything he did, right? He was that character, right? From Kama to Papa Shango.
Papa Shango, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or I could probably
Kama Mustafa.
Yeah, the Godfather.
The what was it? The something fighting machine they used to call it.
Yeah. And then
I forgot it now, but
the Good Father, right?
The Good Father, right?
The Good Father with our boy
Absolutely.
Stevie. Our boy Stevie. Shout out
had
to
Stevie's guts during that time too, man. Unfortunately,
apparently.
But he's actually apologized for it though.
Yeah,
which is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
I love the Godfather though. Godfather was one of my favorites. I mean, yeah, it's funny because he's been so many gimmicks. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Supreme Fighting Machine, that's what it was.
Supreme Fighting Machine. That's right.
If I remember correctly, now it just came back to me. But Kama Mustafa was all right. I mean, Papa Shango was a big deal sort of at one stage.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stand his gimmick though. It was too, even though I was a child then, it was too childish even for me.
But okay, let me ask you this though, right? Which did it better, Papa Shango or Boogeyman?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I was going to say Boogeyman. Well, you know what? I'll say Boogeyman by far, actually. You know why?
Think?
Yeah, because he actually eats the worms, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie. I love it when they do the little vignettes where they get him to scare people, like they did the.
I love that shit, bro. But he's a freak, bro.
Oh, it cracks me up. Yeah, look, that dude's like 50 something and just.
Yeah, he looks great though. He looks phenomenal, man, and he's in
Yeah.
great shape too, man. I mean, shit. On the 6th of January, was it? Oh yeah, we knew that.
Yeah,
we already knew that, Cody. That was announced months ago.
Yeah, but yeah, like they did the one this year where they got people to like look at art and he pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's funny.
Scares the shit out of everybody.
The Boogeyman.
Chelsea Green again. Like I know that wasn't
star,
acting.
bro.
She's a star. Like her reaction to that was so great. Like Byron Saxon. Like I love that they get him every time and he falls out every time.
Yeah,
He's
but
like,
he overacts shit too. I mean, they make him like a child almost, like child-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is kind of weird, but you know.
Yeah, but like I love it when they do that kind of stuff, when they bring him back just for like Halloween season, just to scare the shit out of people. Like it's
Dude,
so
he's an
good.
interesting character. Like I don't think anyone could pull off what fucking Boogeyman, the guy behind Boogeyman, actually done. Like I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
he eats his freaking worms. He took his front teeth out for the gimmick, dude.
Yeah.
That's living the gimmick.
Yeah. Like it
You know what
is,
I
but
mean?
like also too, like if we're gonna say kitty though, right? Like it's I don't know, but like I will say this, right? Papa Shango when Ultimate Warrior threw
Oh
out,
God, I hated that, man.
that was
I'm a warrior mark when I was young, especially. You know what I mean? But Jesus Christ, that was so fucking bad. You know what I mean? Like when you
yeah,
look back on it now, it's just ridiculous, dude.
right, yeah.
But I remember it too. I actually remember it fucking clearly. Like,
Oh, I know. Like that was the whole point, right? Oh
it's
damn.
bizarre.
Charles says he's 60 or 61.
Yeah, dude, he's old, man. I mean, he's not old, but he's old. Like, and he still looks magnificent. It trips me out, dude. You know what was a funny match? You see when Boogeyman made an appearance in AEW when it first kind of started around that time, and he
No.
wrestled fucking I think it was on Being the Elite, but and he wrestled the fucking oh my god, the current AEW tag champs.
He's 60, bro. He's 60.
Fuck. How does he look like that at 60, man? Now, I know black people have better genes than fucking us, right? Because the one thing I'm jealous about with black people, man, they look fucking young even when, they're old, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on.
I don't know.
But
like,
when we're 60, we're going to look like fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
look at Lashley too, man. People don't realize he's a lot older than you think too. You know what I mean?
Lashley's
Same
50,
with Sheldon
right?
Benjamin. Sorry?
Lashley's 50, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close to it.
Yeah.
If
He's
I look like
48.
him at 50 dude, come on. Has he
Yeah.
really changed since he was like when he first came to WWE? Not really.
No.
His body hasn't even changed.
Shelton is 49.
He looks amazing, bro. At 49, dude.
Yeah.
Look at R-Truth as well, man. Exactly that, bro.
R-Truth is like 50 something, like, right? 51?
Man, I'd kill to look like that at Truth's age. You know what I mean?
52,
But-
sorry.
Age definitely didn't help Tyson last night, Grass, but
No.
he went up against a dude that's 30 years. He's freaking. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
but like
come
it was
on, bro.
look, it was
If Tyson was in his 40s, I think he would have won. If he was in his 40s. But not when you're in your late 50s, dude.
yeah, almost 60. So okay, so after that we have Sami Zayn talking to LA Knight, presumably trying to recruit the fifth member of for the OG bloodline, but he's got a challenge for the United States Championship. So we go to commercial break and we come back and we see The Rock is on Jimmy Fallon and shooting with GQ for a red one. Cool.
See the pillows? How fucking weird.
Look, that dude is just, I don't know. It's whatever. But so backstage, BFAB finds herself dealing with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, who make fun of her for not advancing in the tournament. And she points out the issue of what happens if Chelsea and Piper face each other in the finals.
Excuses.
Yeah, before Mishin comes in with a kendo stick and pairs them off. Look, that would be interesting, right? Like how, like I would actually kind of want to see that, Jimmy. I would want to see where like it's now Chelsea and Piper, like bringing that. I didn't think about it. Yeah, like going into the turn, like right where they have to face each other. Like I didn't think about that in the process, and like that would be an interesting match, don't you think? Where Chelsea and Piper have to face each other in the tournament
and on paper though, Niven should absolutely eat Chelsea Green alive.
Yeah.
But who knows her better than Chelsea, right?
True.
I mean, it's intriguing. I'm sure that will go down that route sooner or later. So yeah, why not? I mean, we'll see what happens. But she did state, imagine if we were US champions.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? She said for the both of them, not just the one of them, which
Yeah.
I'd be down for. And I think that's when the real friction will start. See, don't be surprised if like Niven lays down for Chelsea to become champion, but then she starts getting jealous of the belt. Think of the $1 Million Man, Andre the Giant sort of time when $1 Million Man was like pretending he was the champ when really it was Andre. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at the bracket now. This is from Triple H's thing. So last night we had Bailey, Candice, and BFAB in a triple threat. Bailey moves on to the semifinals. And then we have another one where it's Bianca, Chelsea, and Blair Davenport in a triple threat. And the winner of that one will face Bailey. Then we have Jade, Mishin, and Piper Nevin, and they will fight. And the winner, it goes to the finals. Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Electra Lopez. And they will fight and, face the winner of the other match. So, yeah, you could have so they would have to face each other in the finals, Piper and Chelsea.
So they're on opposite brackets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably where it's going to lead to. I mean, for them to do that, it's done on purpose and for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be intriguing. Is it make the most sense? Not really. Is it an interesting story?
Well, yeah, it is. That tells a story in itself. I mean, it's Niven against Green.
But is that the way you want to go with it for this? And does that make the most sense for the tournament?
Because this tournament could be built around them anyway.
But yeah,
place.
Okay, so let's take it like last night, right? I could say, because we know they're triple threat matches to start in the quarters, right? So it can make sense that Chelsea could get by because you have Blair Davenport and I forget, and then Bianca, right? Blair and Bianca just go after each other, then Chelsea sneaks in the win. Makes sense, right? But then it's just a 2-on-2 where you have Bailey and Chelsea, and Bailey will have nobody at her side. Well, Piper is there, and then you also have Jade, you have Piper, and you have somebody else. I don't know. As much as I would like to see that story of Chelsea and Piper facing off in the finals, the question really becomes, logically, could it make sense for them to both be there?
Yeah, I can see it, man.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I don't know if I can logically make that make sense.
I mean, why not? Why wouldn't it make sense? What else makes sense to you other than that, say? Because at least it's got a backstory.
I mean, yeah, it's got a backstory, but okay, so Jade Cargill, Mishin, and Piper Nevin, right?
Right.
Who comes out of that match?
Why not Piper? But Chelsea interferes for it, helps her win. They help each other win the whole way through.
Okay, makes sense. Naomi, Tiffany, and Electra Lopez. Who comes out of that?
Naomi, Tiffany, and Electra. See, the thing is, well, it's not going to be Tiffany because she's Money in the Bank, right?
Right.
So why does she need the US Championship right now?
Why not Naomi? What if you have a Naomi Bailey final?
What's that really going to do? But people really going to give a shit? We've seen this shit before.
Because Naomi and Bailey are friends, right? And they've been helping each other out.
But this has happened. But we've seen this. It's not as intriguing as a Piper Niven Chelsea match, which is fresh also.
True. I'm not going to disagree with that. But I guess I'm to me, it feels like a stretch to get them there, if that makes sense. To me.
Why though? Why do you think it's a stretch?
Because I don't I could see Piper maybe getting there, but I can't justify Chelsea getting there. Like you said, I understand the cheating aspect of it, but doesn't that mean Bailey will have Naomi in her corner, right, to negate that?
Yeah, but Bailey's not going to cheat per se, gimmick wise, to victory.
But she's not going to cheat, right? That's the whole point, right? So because Chelsea's going to be have Piper in her corner, so Bailey comes out and Naomi's there to help prevent the cheating, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's less about it's less about cheating and more about preventing the cheating. So I don't know, Jimmy. It's interesting to say the least. First of all, that we're having a triple threat match for the quarterfinals with all these women, but then two, seeing how the brackets break down and okay, some of the stories that can come out of it.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Chelsea and Piper in the finals.
I can see that. I mean, I really could.
Only because they separated them in the. Why did they have to do that? Why are they even both in this tournament?
Yeah. Well, why are the tag? Why is Bianca and Jade in this tournament? They have the tag title.
They're singles wrestlers per se,
but they're tag champs too. And why is Tiffy in this? She's got the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Tiffy. I don't know. I don't understand. Unless she was gonna, because people were even saying that she could possibly cash in for the US Championship. That's great and all, but when you do that, you look like a doofus, like Austin Theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look what's happened to him since.
Yep.
And he was on a hot streak at that point, dude.
Yeah, and then you get paired with Drinks and what?
But you know what's even more fucked up? Who's the star of the two in his team?
Neither.
It's actually Grayson is the one that's getting more attention than Austin Theory, which is sad because that's how low Austin has gone.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he's a Vince guy too.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
Since Vince is gone, gone. He's been gone too.
For the first time. So,
You know what, Zane? He's right about what Zane said, but it's what I find interesting. Charlotte, I feel like should have been back by now, man. This delay is kind of weird, dude.
Becky too, right?
Becky apparently, according to the dirty sheets, because we didn't actually get into news, I might as well say this.
Yeah.
He's signaling they should be back in WWE very shortly. Also, Kenny Omega, apparently AEW doesn't need him. New Japan does, so he's going to go to New Japan, come back at New Japan first instead of AEW because AEW's got a good thing going and they don't need Kenny Omega. Sure, Kenny. Sure, they don't. I'm just saying.
Well,
But there's more to that story, but I don't think you want me to get into it. So
I don't care if we get into it. Well,
to be honest, I don't want to drain the world. Like we are at a 2-hour mark at this point.
Yeah.
And we're still talking SmackDown, so I don't want to get off the road.
All right, we'll get through SmackDown and then we can talk about it if we want to at the end.
Plus, I'm hungry too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well. So we go back to the ring. LA Knight makes his way and he does his whole microphone shtick and he addresses Sami Zayn talking to him about the Bloodline Civil War, but he says, "Hey, I got bigger things to focus on. The United States Open Challenge." Yeah. And then Legado de Fantasma make their way out to respond with a question raised of which member might be challenging. Santo Escobar has made it clear he's interested in a shot at the title before as the group enters the ring. And he says the champ's name with a yeah from the crowd. Escobar makes fun of this as well as the Milwaukee crowd before saying it's time for someone to shut Knight up. Santos addresses the opportunity for Electra Lopez to become the first women's championship and she has to bring 2 titles to the group. But Knight says 2 of them have been there, done that. And before saying Berto has been staring a hole in him in this whole time. So he offers the opportunity to Berto, running down Santos and Lopez before Berto attacks. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Once I saw Berto come out, you know what happened?
What's that?
To me, all I was hearing was tweet, 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 tweet. That's all was going through my mind, man. I'm just like, shut up, man, already, please.
Yeah. So now it's no longer Umberto, it's Berto, which sounds dumb. Like I'm going to tell you right now, Jimmy.
That sounds like someone that goes to the Blue Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
Berto.
He's got these claw mark gear, and Angel was wearing the shirt where he's got this. Was it a real tattoo or a fake tattoo, like on his chest?
I have no idea anymore. Oh, there's a spider climbing down.
Yeah. So, look, this was so whatever that they were already in action during the break. So
Robin.
Yeah, here we go. So this was a match to just again show that hey, we've got really nobody except for Legado de Fantasma. So let's give one of the other guys a shot. Let's give Berto a try. So Berto And maybe that was a bear claw because he's bear toe.
Ooh.
Right.
Wow.
But really, this was just an enhancement match to set up what was to come afterwards. Really, the match was the match. It was a match. It was fine. It was whatever. You know,
The match was the match.
It was the match. But really, what happened was the after fact of this, Jimmy, because you've already blown the spot for later in the night with another reveal, but you didn't blow this spot because LA Knight is celebrating the win, and all of a sudden, Shinsuke
Nakamura
and KO's the champ. And speaking of Japan and needing things, apparently WWE needed Shinsuke to come back and kick some sense into LA Knight.
Well, to be fair, when was the last time we've seen Shinsuke in a friggin' WWE ring?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It feels like it's been 2 years, dude. Honestly,
like
it's been about a year, at least, surely.
Yeah, and look, I love
the
Shinsuke.
violin, Sonic.
I like Shinsuke, so this should be fun.
So do I.
Shinsuke versus LA Knight should be fun.
But unfortunately for Shinsuke, he's become an enhanced upper mid card jobber, bro.
Lab Rat says the claw mark was from his grandfather's ghost happening in NXT.
Okay. Simone ese.
Okay.
I comprende to that now.
But I like this. I think this is going to be fun. LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Sorry.
Well, according to the Spaceman of Canada, Shinsuke is so tough that he kicked his own ass off WWE television.
Yeah.
And Nakamura Skywalker.
Anakin Nakamura Skywalker. Nice. Yeah, he did have a very Jedi. I know it was a samurai. He said samurai, like Corey Graves said the whatever samurai.
The ghost of gimmicks past.
So Shinsuke's back. Him and LA Knight should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So then backstage we have the Usos trying to figure out their situation. As Sami joins them and the trios into the dressing room and Reigns. And then I don't remember the last time I've seen this, Jimmy, but then we got an ad for WWE's live upcoming dates before going to commercial.
They do it sometimes.
Do they? I guess
they do. Yeah.
It's not often enough for me because that stood out to me. It was like
recently they've been doing it. I've seen it on Raw too.
Okay,
yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, seems to be a new deal.
I don't normally watch a lot, fully all the way through. So I watch highlights a lot of times, but that was on there, and I was like, oh, okay. So we got a hype package for Royal Rumble for February 1st. So that was cool. After we come back to the commercial break, and then we have the OG Bloodline convenes inside of a dressing room for Roman Reigns. Sami addresses that they don't have a fifth. Before Jay asks Roman if he's made the call. And so Solo makes his entrance on TV inside the dressing room. And then they I like this. This was fucking cool. Jimmy, they did some really cool shit tonight on the TV with production where you see his entrance on the TV in the dressing room, and then they kind of transitioned it to making his way.
Right.
Yeah. That
I like that too.
That was fucking cool, Jimmy. They need to do. I like that they did. I like it on SmackDown. Yeah, I like on SmackDown how they're taking chances and doing some really neat production stuff. I really like some of the stuff they're doing. That was super cool. So the bloodline, new bloodline comes out to a course of booze. Solo says to acknowledge him, and they get booze instead.
Solo was dropping a lot of F-bombs in his segment too, dude. That they couldn't keep up with, man.
Yeah. So then he's interrupted by the OTC music as Roman Reigns and the OG Bloodline step out, and they just start going to war. They go boom, 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 and look, I get that Solo and Roman face each other, but let's be honest. Sami and Jacob Fatu were paired off against each other. I get Tama and Tonga were with the Usos, but Sami and Jacob, right?
Why? What's the problem with that? What's the issue?
There's no fucking way Sami holds his own at all with Jacob Fatu, right?
Why not? Why can't he? You know he will.
No, but like,
And you know what? If they do make that matchup, say, that's a hard one to pick. Who's going to win?
but I'm talking about like again. This is where my logic steps in for a minute when I know I shouldn't have logic, Jimmy. But if you're gonna stand there and look at the two,
believability, Jacob should absolutely eat him like he's a rib.
right, and that's where my issue was. Like, okay, when this started, Sammy backed Jacob into a corner, right, and then it was like they cleared out the ring and everything, and then Jacob and Sammy were there, and then all of a sudden Jacob goes, "Oh, I'm going to start kicking your ass now," and then kicked his ass, and then started beating up on Roman. So because Sammy's neutralized, after Sammy's done all that work on him, and then didn't get him down, and then he gets up and just puts down Sammy with just a little bit before he goes in. So we have all this, hubbub, everything's going along, and then all of a sudden, all this hoopla. Solo's going to go for Sammy. And give him the Samoan spike, but Roman spears him, and the two nod, and Sammy hits a dive on the outside, and Roman and Jacob are staring at each other in the ring. And then this is interrupted by Bronson Reed, just crushing Roman Reigns, and then now Bronson has turned the tide on everything, and they start doing tsunamis and beating on people, except for Roman. Cool. Roman starts giving, Superman punches to everybody but Solo, who catches him and, gives him.
And he starts screaming, "Who's the fucking man now, huh?
Yeah.
Who's the fucking man now, huh?" Over and over and over again. And then when they showed the replay, that's when I'm bleeping him out. But they totally missed it. But I like that how Solo's like, "Who the fuck is the man now, huh?" Like, the way he said it was pretty cool. Yeah. Russ, you're onto something. Solo's bringing all the Samoans from different families together. Not just from different families, different countries.
Mm-hmm.
This is Samoa worldwide, except he's got also different nationalities in the Tongans, but they all are Polynesians anyway. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Yeah. But technically, Bronson Reed is Australian, but of Samoan background.
Right. And so, so Jacob does a moonsault on him, and then Bronson does a tsunami on Roman, and it's just everybody's
quality. Me and fucking Jeff called this. Bronson was gonna join the bloodline. I'll give Jeff credit. He said it first, and I agreed when he said it.
Yeah,
and it's happened. So and they did
say
say that he's joined the group. Like he's officially, he's not just a fifth member. He's
actually
part of the group.
They said they haven't. All I've read is that he's. Did they?
Yeah, they.
I've heard that he's part of the
joined.
He's the fifth member, but I didn't hear that he's.
They also said that he's joined as the newest member of Solo's bloodline.
Where did you see that at?
On the show, Cole said it.
I didn't. I just heard that he was part of their team.
And he also said that he officially joined. I kid you not.
Okay.
Look at that segment again towards the end after all that shit happened. You clearly hear him say it.
Okay, I will.
Either way, I'm all for it. But anything that doesn't make sense. Okay, I get why they're doing it, and they're being this WWE again being stereotypical. Well, he's Samoan. He's Samoan. We put them together because they're Samoans, right?
Right.
But where's the history? They got no fucking history. They never cross paths ever, right? Like you never see him cross. So now we're just because he's Samoan, he's part of the bloodline. Like, unless they come up with some kayfabe fucking bullshit where the blood, somehow his family. I mean, he could be for but I'm just saying.
Okay, because I'm getting a bunch of different reports. I'm looking it up. Some are saying that he's joined. Some say he joined the team.
They said it, man, that he joined the team. They put it in those words.
Yeah, join the team, but not join the bloodline per se.
No, go to the segment. See, thank you, Grass. They said both on the show.
Okay, all right. Maybe they said both, and because of the first time, because he joined the team, I just
first they said he joined the team, and at the very end, they pretty much said officially he's now also part of Solo's bloodline. Like they had some sort of word in the ear confirming it.
Okay, all right. I must have missed that last part then because I know that he said he's joined his team, but like that didn't mean like he's joined the Bloodline. So okay. Anyway, so Bronson Reed is with them. He's with the new Bloodline, and we got a replay. And before Sitting Solo and the crew celebrate the damage that's been done, we hear Jay telling Roman to make the call as the two men recover in the ring, and then we go to commercial. So again, good segment. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it.
Which
Absolutely.
this was like from the opening, backstage segment to the transition to them just coming out like, all right, we're just gonna fucking do this, and then having that reveal of Bronson Reed. Look, so far this show has been incredibly good. At this
It actually
point.
has. It actually has.
I've enjoyed it a lot. So at this point, it's been really good. So after this commercial break, we come back and there's an ad for the WWE shop, and then a replay of the factions, and then a commentary saying who's Roman gonna call for War Games, and then they followed up with what happened with Cody and Nick Aldis. And then we find out that Kevin Owens posted a video to social media, and they got to look at that where he just simply did his job last week. And despite being away from the arena tonight, he got a call from Nick Aldis to come to Salt Lake City because Cody Rhodes wants him there. He promises he will be there despite feeling he shouldn't be because he loves the mountains of Utah, and he will do what the people want him to do, his job. So that
Can
was
we
that.
possibly get a Kevin Owens being part as the fifth member? That would make things very interesting because of Sami Zayn. And he costs the original Bloodline the loss. Because I think it would benefit more if Solo's Bloodline actually wins War Games.
Okay.
Because the OG Bloodline, really on paper right now, they're not really together. Like, they're not in sync properly. And they're going to come together out of nowhere and get the win because... I don't like that. That's lazy booking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't build it enough to where they are good again. You know what I mean? Seth.
Yeah.
Why? Fuck Seth, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a Shield reunion. And what does it do for Seth? Because of Bronson Reed?
Well, I know he's already said he doesn't want to.
Right, but you probably will go back on it. Like, so, I do think it's either Seth or KO. But if you want to make it interesting, go with fucking KO.
Or you make it real fucking interesting?
That would be interesting to me.
Do you want to make it real fucking interesting?
Go, tell me, please.
Go get the monster among men. And because him and Bronson have been like.
How dare you even say that?
That would be. Are you kidding me? Two big monsters like that destroying the War Games ring.
But why Braun? Like, what reason is Braun there for?
To beat up Bronson Reed.
No. But Seth wants Bronson Reed too.
Yeah, but fuck that.
And the original friggin' feud was Seth and Bronson Reed, but the Bronson Reed thing took off so well with the fans that they even done a program with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was great. It was very good.
Yeah.
I can't stand Braun Strowman, dude. I'm done. He's injury prone too, man.
Well,
he can't stay fucking healthy at all, bro.
Yeah.
He really can't, man.
Yeah. That's fair enough. So, all right. We backstage we have the Street Profits.
And by the way, Gus, I know WWE do that with all ethnic groups. They've always have, dude. I'm a freaking 40-year fan of professional wrestling and WWE particularly. So trust me, I know, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't like it though.
All right, so we have the Street Profits. They made their way to the ring, and they're getting ready to challenge the Motor City Machine Guns, who are the tag champs.
Pew.
Which is so weird to say in 2024.
How bizarre is that, dude?
It's so weird. Like,
why do they point down here for Detroit?
Because that's where,
like up there, like somewhere around that section.
No, it's in the palm.
What, lower?
Yeah, it's like.
No, it can't be that low.
Yeah,
it's along the border with Canada.
No,
Detroit, yeah, it fucking is.
It's on the border, but yeah, it's in the here. All right.
It's like here, sorry. Like around here.
All right, Jimmy. Let me educate you on geography a little bit, okay?
Oh, come on. I'm good with geography. Now give me that.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna teach you something. All right.
Oh,
I'm gonna teach you something.
Yeah.
You ready? You
Teach
ready?
me something?
Oh wait, shit! I pressed the wrong button. You need to teach me about how to use StreamYard. All right, Detroit, right here, bottom corner of the mitten, which is why they do that.
But look, Minneapolis is right there too.
Minneapolis is over here, you dipshit.
Yeah, it's not that
It's
far.
got Wisconsin between it.
That's the highest point of the U.S. pretty much. That's as north as you can get.
No,
I'm talking about Minneapolis and shit, not fucking
no,
Detroit.
that's the
Oh, Winnipeg is but what's there? That's
right there.
Minneapolis. It's still Minneapolis though.
Minneapolis is down here, you dumbass.
Then what's that? What state is that?
This is Minnesota.
I just
All
said, where's Minnesota?
Minnesota's right here. You said
Yeah,
Minneapolis.
and where's Minnesota in?
Minnesota is in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a state.
Don't be a smart ass. You know what I'm talking about. What state is it in?
Minnesota's the state.
Minnesota's the city.
Minnesota's
Oh, no,
the
sorry, the
state.
other way around. Yeah, sorry. I got confused there for
What
a
are you
minute.
talking about? Fucking geography.
Wait a minute. Is Minneapolis the city and
Minneapolis is
Minnesota's
the city. Minnesota's the state.
All right. Then why the fuck do
And
they...
then Wisconsin's right here.
But Wisconsin is the state and Milwaukee is the city, right?
Right here.
But with
Yeah.
Minnesota, though, they emphasize Minnesota more than Minneapolis per se, which is odd compared to all the other American states.
Yeah, because
Why is that?
technically, because of this dip, you know, this kick out right here, because of weird
Right.
treaty stuff in the lake and stuff. This
Yeah.
is the northernmost point of the United States.
No, I know, but what I was trying to get at, because I got it up backwards, right?
Okay.
What I meant was it's still the same fucking place. That's what I was trying to say. So I was saying Minnesota or Minneapolis, right? But it's still part of Minnesota, and I said that city or state is the most northern point of the U.S. That's what I was trying to say.
The state is Minnesota is.
Yeah, that's what I was meant to say. That's what I was trying to get at, right?
Yeah. But what does that have to do with Detroit?
I'm saying Detroit is on the Canadian border generally too. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but like
so
right
it's up
here,
the
like
top.
right here's Toronto, here's Detroit. It's right here. See, like this is how much.
But go lower. You're calling that the palm, Detroit, right in the middle of your palm? That's not the middle of your palm.
Look, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. That's why they point down here. You were saying up here. I'm saying this is where they're pointing.
Yeah, but why do they point down there when Detroit's not down there per se?
It is. It is.
Unless
This
they're
is
from
Michigan.
Canada. Like if they're from Canada. I'm talking about if you look at the US map.
Yeah, I'm looking at the U.S. map, Jimmy. This is Michigan.
Only the US map and don't even care about Canada. Like forget Canada, right?
They're from Michigan. Detroit's in Michigan.
I
not
get that.
Minnesota.
I know that. Right.
Okay,
But they're
so-
pointing down here though.
Jimmy, because they're talking about the state of Michigan.
Okay.
They're
I
not-
feel-
this
now I
is
get it,
not
I
the
get it, I
United
get it, I
States.
get it.
Because
Okay, I'm thinking they're talking about like that was the US map.
no.
Yeah? Okay, now you explain that to me. Okay, that's it.
no,
I never heard
no.
them say that shit before, but
because everybody from Michigan says, "Hey, look, it looks like a mitten, right?" So you make your fist like a mitten, and then
okay,
you point
but
in
you're
Michigan.
explaining that to me now. Now I get it. I'm always
That's-
assuming they're talking about the American map, yeah,
No,
not the
no.
whole US.
So people from
That's why it's
Michigan
amazing
go,
to make
"Oh, I'm
sense.
from Detroit, or I'm from this, or I'm from here." I'm like, this is how they differentiate from the main part, because then Michigan also kicks up to this point over here, but barely anybody lives in this part of Michigan. Most people live in this part of Michigan. So, because technically this is all Michigan right here. So, but it's mostly you got Marquette and Houghton and Copper Island, but they're small cities, and Mackinac.
Jeff, I know that, motherfucker. I know that. I
So-
got it confused. Again, I didn't know that they were talking about the map of Michigan when I was always thinking they're talking about the map of America. Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
took it.
Hey, Jeff was so excited that he didn't have to deal with this.
Hey, he knows I'm good at geography generally, all right? But that was just a misunderstanding. It's not that I got it wrong. I was assuming the American fucking map, and we're arguing that before you even told me that they're referring to the Michigan map. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then that makes sense where Detroit is. You know what I mean? Like that makes sense where they're pointing.
Yeah.
If we're going by the Michigan fucking map.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get it now. But why can't they explain that shit? Well, at least tell me that. I've followed their careers for over 20 years at this point. Nah,
Do you know how I
but
figured it out, Jimmy?
How?
I googled
Because
it.
of where they were pointing.
Mhm. No, I googled
So you
it.
assumed it's Michigan? Oh, really?
I typed in
Just
why
now?
did no, a while back. I typed in why
Lies.
did
You googled it now. You even
No,
weren't sure.
no.
Bullshit.
No. I googled Detroit to show you it, but before that, I typed in a while back, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because we were going to the TNA taping that Jake and I got to go to for free. And then they were on that show, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why are they doing this all the time? Is this a gang?"
So
symbol?
you were like me. So you were confused too.
Yeah.
So
But
there
then
you
I
go.
read,
Why am I the
like,
fucking Nimrod vicious?
And so then I read Michigan natives do that to show where they're from on Michigan because it looks like a mitten.
Well, sorry, we're not all from fucking Michigan. And we're
Nobody
supposed to.
Nobody wants
But
to be from
this is the
Michigan.
problem with wrestling, though. Again, you know what I mean? Like, they don't explain shit.
Yeah.
Now, this is a time where they actually said why and how they're pointing there, right?
Yeah.
All these years, I'm assuming they're pointing their palm, their hand is the American fucking map of the US. You know what I mean? That's how I took it. I didn't know it was the Michigan map. And now that you explained that to me, then it totally makes sense that they are pointing in the right spot. You know what I mean?
Right. So here's the thing. I typed it in, right? And a while back, and it remembers that I looked this up. And this is from April 19, 2009. And I looked it up. It says 3 years ago. It means the whereabouts of where they live. It has to do with where Detroit is in Michigan. And so
Is it common sense, Zane? I'm from Australia. That's supposed to be common sense, really?
Yeah.
Context fucking matters, exactly, D. Context fucking matters.
Yeah.
I had no context.
Yeah. So that's why.
We know Maine exists, but they're not pointing to Maine, Jeff. We're live, pal.
Yeah, we gotta love it. Geography talk has lit this thing up.
It's all your fault, man, for geography bullshit. Now we're talking. God damn, it became a freaking regular occurrence on the Smack Attack when you went around. Politics, geography. I mean, paranormal. We nailed everything.
Yeah, Mini Garden of Doom.
Yeah,
Mini Garden of Doom. Look, I
Go
love.
check out his shows, by the way.
Look, I love Garden of Doom, and
absolutely.
And, look, it's he does some great stuff on that. I really do. Like it's my must listen to of the week. So
no,
look,
Garden of Doom is absolutely a great show.
My goal is to one
Views.
day be both. My goal is one day to be so famous that I get to be on Garden of Doom or Garden Views. That's my goal.
Oh, that's a hint. There's a hint right there, Jeff.
Well, I have
Make
nothing
him
to
lose his
contribute.
virginity.
I have nothing to contribute. So
Don't you? Why not? You got to have something.
I don't have anything to contribute to Garden Views or
So
Garden
then why do you want to be? You're hinting you want to be on the show, but you got nothing to contribute.
I would love to be on the show, but that's the thing. I want to be able to do something to contribute to be on that show.
All right, you're from the South. I'm sure you know some fucking laws, like some sort of paranormal laws of fucking of.
Yeah, but not where I'm like an expert. Like, yeah, there's the Loup Garou out of the Cajun country where it's borrowed from France. It's the idea of a French werewolf.
Doesn't matter if it's part of like the Southern culture, though. It doesn't matter where it's from.
It's call 1-800.
Plus, the French thing is also close to to what's that?
Jeff, he goes call 1-800 get fame. But will that get me fame or will that get me fame black? That's the question, Jeff. I don't know.
Speaking of black, there's another version of his show.
Oh yeah.
You know, former fucking
yeah.
He does a Garden of Doom variation.
Yeah,
actually
with
PJ
certain
Black.
Yeah.
PJ Black.
The book of Black, as he calls it.
The Book of Black.
Yeah.
Check that out also, which is also great.
Yeah.
Fame is fame, and Jeff is one of them. He's famous.
Jeff is famous.
And if you ever need a lawyer, like in the Maryland area, he's the guy to call.
Right, Baltimore.
See, we're promoting you, Jeff. God damn it.
Yeah. Look, always
Yeah, I
promote your
said
shit, Jeff.
Maryland. Yeah.
Famous B is in Melbourne.
Famous. I know, Jeff, for crying out loud. Famous B's in Melbourne. I know. He's trying to make me hook up with a wrestler that moved from the States to my neck of the woods. He came here for a holiday or for work and decided, I like it here. I'm staying.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
I'll
all
hit him
right.
up
So
eventually, Jeff.
I
Eventually.
guess we should talk about this match.
Yes, please. I'm starving.
I mean, okay. So look, tag match. I don't know how I feel about this one, Jimmy, if I'm 100% honest. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was almost like at the same time, too, they knew that it wasn't going to be a match because of Tommaso Ciampa running in and attacking everybody. Like,
who didn't see this coming?
I know. And then we had him push Johnny Gargano came in to try to calm him down, and he pushed him down. And like, this isn't what we talked about. We talked about the belts, and I don't know what you did. Like, I mean, like,
you know how happy I was that he did that? I would have pushed that pipsqueak years ago. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Jimmy, how many times have we seen this where they are DIY, then they break up and they come back together, and they break up and they come back together?
Yeah,
Jimmy,
but see, the key word is DIY. If he ain't going to help you, he might as well do it himself.
But the point is, I mean, how many times have we seen this? Like, this is not the first time.
It's Pro Wrestling 101, bro.
I know, but it's gotten old. Like,
look, it's Johnny Gargano. Seeing him get pushed like a little bitch never gets old. I'm just saying. Like,
okay.
You know.
Okay. All right.
I can't stand him, bro. Him and his wife, catch. Just go. Get as far away from me as go back to Cleveland, man.
Yeah.
At least Ciampa was in his hometown. I mean, he's from Wisconsin.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how did you feel about the match before the interference?
Honestly, I didn't really care about it, man.
Yeah.
It just, after going off like all that bloodline stuff, man, I was gassed a little bit from that to the point where, you know, how are they going to top that off right after that? Like, it didn't bother me. But what I did like was what I just spoke about, and that's all that mattered. You know what I mean?
Watching Johnny Gargano on his ass.
On his ass. Like, while pleading.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
It's Johnny Gargano on his ass.
What would you call it? On his ass.
On his ass.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself. All right. So then we have a commercial break and
now tourism.
Look, I did like this. They highlighted signs of the night. That was kind of cool.
Silence of the night.
Yeah, no, signs. You know, there were like different people who were in the crowd and had fun signs. They were doing that. Like, I imagine to encourage people to start bringing signs again to shows. So, because why else would you do? Hey, we had these are our signs of the night. You know, so.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Canada Space. Gargano sounds like the name Gargamel from the Smurfs.
Not wrong.
Gargamel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, what was I saying? Oh, the signs of the night. Like, do you feel like okay. I want to do that. So the do you feel like that's a push for WWE to have people start bringing signs again to shows? I think Jimmy froze. Yeah, I have CTE. I'm not gonna lie. Yep, I think Jimmy froze. Let me do this. Womp womp. Oh. Yep. Unless, Jeff, you want to come finish it out. You can always come finish it out, Jeff. So anywho, so I was gonna say, do we feel like that's them just trying to build people coming back to signs on shows? Because why else would you show that? That's something that I haven't seen before, which it's cool. All right, I got you. Copy coming at you. Done. So, and by the other one, just try Smurfs movie from the Smurfs. Yeah, Gruss, I think you are the only one that wants to try Smurf stew from the Smurfs. Yeah. Off topic, why Bianca Belair interest music say I'm on my own while she half the tag team champs. They just standing there, then Bianca song say that. Like, true. Yeah, Jimmy's got that Netflix server action going. Because they don't, like at some point, Sonic, aren't they going to split them up too? And they're going to have a fight and they're going to get all, wah wah, and they're going to hate each other and all that fun stuff. Like, that's the goal, right? That's the plan. So, that's my thoughts anyway. So, anyhow, sign of the night. I'm sure when Jeff gets here, we will talk about if that's WWE making them go that way. So, there he is. And look, he made it. Yay!
I got to rescue Jimmy from you. I got to rescue you from Jimmy.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna break up like the tag team divisions are, like Tommaso Ciampa. Right? Jimmy? Right, Jimmy? I'm gonna Tommaso
My
Ciampa.
internet totally gave out. Don't know what happened there, man.
Freebird rule.
Totally gave out.
Freebird! Tag Ninja. Hey,
but
so
let's go 3 ways.
what do you think?
What?
No. Do you think, Jeff, do you feel like this is a move for WWE to encourage people to bring more signs to the shows with this sign of the night gimmick that they're doing?
Absolutely.
They're trying to relive that Attitude Era aspect.
I think that the things that bothered Vince that Triple H thought were fun, he's trying to bring back slowly but surely.
Sure. Yeah. Jimmy, what do you think? Do you think that's a move to encourage that?
Possibly. It looked like it. I mean, why not? I mean, that were the good old days, but at the same time, if you were at a show and going by experience, you used to get really pissed off with all the freaking signs in front of you like that, man.
Of course he did.
People had no shame. Yeah, no, really. It would piss you off. So, if you're watching on television, great. If you're there, not so great. But cool if that's the case. But I don't think people are really into that anymore, man. The internet's taken over for that type of shit. That's where people show how they feel these days instead of actually going to a live event and showing, WWE how they feel. Because a lot of the times, that was your way of getting your point across to WWE.
I mean, it's like Zane says, it's a live attendance business, right? So therefore, you want your crowd interacted, you want them loud, and then the fact that they can bring their signs and hold that up, like what more does that just shows you have even a livelier crowd. What
Absolutely.
makes college
it's great for television?
Yeah, but
No
I mean,
doubt.
it's great for the environment. Think about college basketball. What made college basketball so great? Passionate fans who bring signs, they bring all that kind of stuff to the stadium, and in the NBA tries to recreate that, especially in playoffs. But that's every time you go to Cameron Indoor, you go to Kansas, you go to these basketball arenas in college basketball, and they've got all this stuff going on, and it just makes for a fun environment. You go in and it makes it passionate, and you give that quote unquote home field advantage. So how do you do that in WWE? You encourage people to bring their signs and cheer and yell and do all that kind of stuff, and then you put them on TV, so you can say, "Hey, did y'all see my sign was on TV?" Like, then now you're telling people on social media, "Hey, I saw you on TV." Look,
Yeah, but in saying that though, WWE's also well known for taking away signs. You know what I'm saying? So if you're encouraging that, then you're gonna get upset about certain signs that do show up. You can't have it both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're living in the past.
Yeah.
It was a different regime that was taking away signs, and then so it doesn't apply. It's like when we were doing our who would we fire and keep from AEW, you
Right.
kept thinking about how they were being booked now as opposed to how you would book them from a blank slate.
Mhm.
And
True.
you know, it's so don't get lost in your own thoughts. I've been inside there. It's hey, hang on a second. Thanos, shut up. Star Fox, it's his move. Okay. Now, don't get lost in your own thoughts. It's scary in there. Talk about a Garden of Doom.
Look, I don't disagree. Nice segue, by the way, sir. Way to go. You are a professional.
Oh yeah,
we're amateurs and you're a professional.
Oh yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
why he's the doctor and we're not.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
John, so I'm just saying.
Exactly. Like that's why we don't have shows that advertise on our podcast, and Jeff does. So again, so we have backstage Bailey showing some respect to Naomi before addressing the situation from Raw, which brings out women's tag champs Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They offer to help if there's any trouble from Io Sky and her crew. And we get a rundown of the triple threat with Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, and Blair Davenport. And then a face-to-face between Cody and Kevin. Hype of Cody's game day appearance. Cool. And then out Naomi goes for the women's championship. And we have a commercial break. And then Naomi's waiting for the arrival of the women's champ, Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton comes out. And here we go. So we have this championship match, which we know nobody's going to win. And like, I think the only, like, this was a match we knew Naomi was going to lose. It was fine for what it was, but the interesting thing I saw is like we had this incident from Raw where, hey, we're going to look out for Io Sky and her crew, but it was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez who lay out Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in the back. Not from what we saw from Raw. So I thought that was an interesting storytelling point. And I mean, again, I don't watch Raw, so I'm not following. I know that Liv is with Judgment Day and Raquel came back to help with Nia Jax. But, like, I guess I missed something. Is there something that I missed from Raw where those two attacked Bianca and Jade?
Yes.
Take them out?
Tag team match for the belts that they had recently. That's where that stems from.
Yes.
Okay.
Liv and Raquel want those tag team belts. I don't know if the inference is that that's part of how Liv recruited Raquel to be sort of her muscle, is that they'll also get tag team gold, and and as part of Judgment Day, they'll have all the tag team gold, and someone's going to get the regular championship and all of that. I mean, they should probably have someone in the speed title also. I mean, frankly, if they were smart, they put Dominic Mysterio in there to get some eyes on it, but I guess they want that for Dragon Lee, who comes on and they make him Rey Mysterio's partner, and you think that's going to be a big deal, and then he disappears for 3 weeks, and then he wins a match, and then he disappears for 2 weeks. But yeah, that's the story. But I think the bigger story, and people are talking about it, but I don't know that anyone's just said it out loud, but there's no brand split anymore. I mean, they're making
I was saying that before, as a matter of fact. So yeah, you're right. I
mean, you have to watch Raw to a lesser extent, NXT and SmackDown, back to Raw, back to NXT to a lesser extent, and SmackDown sometimes NXT, especially for these women tag team titles. But everything with the women, because the tag team titles floats or is cross-branded, follows those tag team titles. So the stories are going. So you have Nia and Tiffy and now Candice, attached to Liv and Raquel, and sort of Judgment Day attached to the She-Vengers, who's attached to Naomi, and Bayley's sort of a hanger. By the way, Bayley comes out and nobody cares anymore. I mean, not to the extent that like the Motor City Machine Guns and Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae get nothing. But for Bailey, I mean, she used to get the same as like, say, I don't know, Becky maybe or Sasha. She gets nothing. It's Elias got more of a reaction than Bailey's been getting.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you on that. I mean,
what is she these days? Who's Bailey? Honestly,
I don't know. She's the heterosexual lesbian. I don't know because that's
yes. But you could think that though if you didn't know her, if you just tuned in, you would definitely think that by her hairstyle. But the thing is, she's not even that. She's not in real life. She's not. Right?
Yes,
but really,
I think she should transition to something pretty quickly, and I mean like manager or commentary or something because she's. I mean, okay, this is the Hummy Media Groove. This is Channel Attitude. So we're not afraid. She's gotten as she's gotten older, she's gotten heavier. That happens to all of us. It's happened to 3 for 3, right here in these booths.
Hey, I've put on weight physically over the years.
Yeah, Enright's actually scaled down quite a bit recently, and he's put the work in.
You have too, Jeff. I've actually scaled up though since we started doing this shit.
I gained 5 pounds back, but
when I saw our first shows, what we used to do, we looked completely different, both of us.
I'm the only person that lost weight during COVID. But
true.
but I got down to 237. I'm back up to 242. So anyway, so now I've got maybe eating chocolate every day wasn't the greatest idea. And last week, since it was my birthday week, I had a piece of Cold Stone ice cream cake every single day.
Yeah, even though I did wish you a happy birthday on the show on our previous shows. Thank you. I'll say it again. Everybody, give him a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I can't even say I'm Lawrence Taylor age anymore because like he's a convicted rapist and shit. So
yeah. Jesus. Yeah, we're birthday month buddies because mine's next Friday.
All right, look at that. Well, happy early birthday there, and right. By the way, I like you without the no hat. I think the au natural embrace the dome.
Always, because I gotta get ready for a wedding later today.
I'm not sure about wearing your pajamas on the air, but okay.
Hey, this is my workout shirt, sir. This is my workout. I wear this in the gym on the right.
I think you should reconsider both those things.
No.
Anyway, Bailey, what the hell? I mean, but she's gotten thicker, and I know people are like, oh, her ass.
People love this thickness, dude.
Listen. I have a woman who's got a thick ass. I mean, but Bailey's just
not Bailey thick though.
No, Bailey, no, in the delicious way. But Bailey's just fat, man. She just looks like a middle-aged woman now. It's like, and
honestly, you and I were saying that a long time ago about Bailey. Don't get me wrong. I know it's a weird because she's an average-looking woman, right? Really.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's ugly. She's not ugly, but
no one's saying she's ugly.
It's weird that people are obsessed with her fucking butt though. Like, I'm not saying it's
it's not, and I'm not even saying that the people who are fat can't work. I mean, King Kong Bundy is like my favorite wrestler. Vader, I mean, but she can't wrestle like herself and carry that weight. I remember when Dave Meltzer got in lots of trouble talking about what was his name, Peyton Royce in WWE when she got the boob job, saying that she's heavier and she can't. I mean, it's your weight is distributed differently. Some people can't do things as they get older. There was a point where Sam Adams, who was a fantastic defensive lineman, and then all of a sudden he wasn't because his gigantic weight and age caught up with him. And sometimes it happens just like that. And you can see it. And I hate to it hurts me to admit it, but two of my favorite, Braun Strowman can't move. Every time he does, I told him, 2 years ago,
I was saying that before.
Right, stop doing the choo-choo train thing. You're too rippy. What did he do? He rippy again. But also Bobby Lashley, when he got released, as much as it broke my heart, I'm like, he really wasn't moving quite the way. Like he was doing the same moves, but in slow motion. Right. And now he's someplace where it doesn't matter. So that's fine. But him just looking like a superhero apparently is enough, even though that's the promotion that doesn't promote people who look like superheroes. They promote people who look like super zeros.
Yeah.
Like Smurfs, in other words.
Like Adam Cole. Like, let's be honest.
Boy, Daniel Garcia, the list goes on and on. But back to Bailey. Bailey can't work the same at her current weight and at her current
Yeah,
size.
and that's because she's got bad knees too. And on top of that, she puts on weight.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
You know what I mean? It's
and
ridiculous.
well,
Why
that's
she's thinking like
biological.
that?
Women like who play sports like basketball, quick cutting sports, their joints are different, so they have a higher rate of blowing out a knee. But then too, I think that's where you see your smart
That's when the
wrestlers
weight
who
started,
wrestle.
John. Though once she blew out her knee the first time,
Right. Well,
when
because
their weight
rehab is
gain really
hard
started.
and you can't work out like you used to. But here's the other half of it. This wrestlers who last long times are smarter. They adjust who they are. Like AJ Styles, right? Why is he wrestling? Is he doing the same thing
he's
he
not
was doing
right now.
Well, I mean, he's not. But I'm just saying, like, the
But
reason
age
why
is
he
trying to catch
lasted.
up to him now, too. Unfortunately,
It is like it's going to catch up to you. Age is undefeated, right? Let's be honest.
Right, exactly.
Nobody's defeated age. The best you can do is adjust who you are so that you can continue to wrestle in a way that's entertaining for a longer period of time. You're not going to be able to do the same shit you did when you were 20, when you're 30. When you're 32, you're 40. Like you have to make those adjustments, or you're going to see things like Bailey. You're going to see things like other people who try to do those same things and they can't do it, and it looks less than. And you've got to make those adjustments to continue to be that wrestler that you need to be. And some people can't do that, and that's the hard part. You got to let go. And
let's go with an exclusive here, Smack Attack, on an alert on someone who's on the cusp of that. And so if you want to do something with her, do it quickly. And I would suggest that she be a very eligible first U.S. Women's champion, though I'm sort of pulling from Mi Chin on that. And the bracket sort of seems like she's the only one not in a story that they're trying to reward. So I do think she is. But Naomi, she can still move, but she's getting noticeably thicker and getting noticeably smaller. She can still do her moves, but it's not quite the same. And I'd say in another year and a half, 2 years, she's going to be where Bailey is. So if you want to do something to reward her, and her as the first U.S. champion would be great. I'm not even sure if she's in that tournament though.
I don't think she is.
Who, Naomi?
Yeah, she's not in the tournament.
No, remember we talked about it earlier. She's in the triple threat.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Then she is in the tournament. So yeah, she'd be a bit like, but she has this story where her and Bailey are going to become, enemies. Like I'm sure Naomi's going to turn heel or whatnot. But
because remember that's what we talked about, Jimmy. Is like instead of Chelsea and Piper, I talked about what if Bailey and Naomi are in the finals and they have to face each other.
But it could easily be Bailey and Naomi. But I think it's more compelling and entertaining to go Chelsea and Piper, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
Yeah, but you already have you've got too many of those Triple H doesn't care about repeats, wrestling bookers don't, but you've already got Tiffy and Nia. It's the same thing. And looming in the background, you've got Liv and Raquel. I mean, you can't do that with everyone. Is Tiffy get
Farb, though, for that championship? I don't see why she would if she's the Money in the Bank holder.
Oh no! Tiffy is not going to get the U.S. championship.
That's what I'm saying, right?
No, my point is that nobody that's in any major storyline is going to get that championship because they're already in a major storyline. It's a waste of the prop.
Right.
Exactly. That's props in this thing for the bigger picture of whatever story they want to tell. If it's Bailey,
but it is historic, so I think they do want to make it someone historic. But so a Bailey or Naomi fit that. But maybe if they want to, pretend it's their own Kamala Harris. I mean, Michin,
right,
checks those boxes
man.
too.
Women's power, right? You talk about Kamala, right? That's what she wanted. She wanted, all these rights for women and whatnot.
No, but I mean, sort of like Tiger Woods. What did he describe? He said he was Cablinasian. I mean, that's sort of.
Well, that's what he is, apparently.
Yeah.
But in saying that, but see, it should be someone like a Michin that gets the championship, not someone like because all that tells you is that the same crop of wrestlers, whether it be women's or men's, is still sitting at that, top. Like they take everything. We don't need to see Bailey as the US champion. We don't even need to see Naomi as the women's champion. Give it to someone that is going to elevate. You know what I mean? Like a Chelsea, like a friggin' not that Chelsea needs it though. In saying that, really, she doesn't need a championship. But give it to someone like a Michin, which would do the absolute world for her, guaranteed.
And she's good. She's earned it. She's earned it over the last year, 15 months. I mean, she's NXT killing. I mean, she's been killing it. So I'm all for her. And let's be honest. They probably needed. Well, I have no idea how Tony Khan does things, but they might be in need of a second income.
Hey, what Charles Wolford also said. Yeah, for sure. Also, what the Hammer says, Stephanie Vakir. I mean, I would love to see that, but unfortunately, she won't win it though. She won't.
Well, she's not in the tournament.
Exactly.
She's in NXT. She's doing her thing down there.
I guarantee she'll win it one day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely, I agree.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I agree that Mia Yim is probably deserving of this title. And
Right
it
now,
would be
she's
a
the
nice
most-
story.
She's definitely earned it. For her to
You
win,
know,
you know.
and especially because let's be honest, Keith Lee is probably not going to wrestle again. It seems like,
What is going on with Keith Lee? Does anyone know anything about that? Is he still sick? He looks bigger than ever. The last time I seen him at the WWE Hall of Fame, he looked way big, dude.
I don't know. I know they live here, and he probably enjoying too much Texas barbecue. But other than that, I haven't seen or heard a thing from him.
But look at Mitchie and how much weight she's lost. You'd think she would motivate her freaking hubby to lose weight, man.
I'm not sure he can. I mean, didn't he have like double COVID and like he's got like he might have like congestive heart disease.
Yeah, and that's what I want to know. There's rumors that he does have something serious, but
it's something with his heart. I think I've heard something. It's something to do with his heart,
right?
But which is pretty serious.
Well,
and
look how big he is.
Look, he was a big guy to begin with already, Jimmy. And I mean,
man.
And I mean, here's the wild part, Jimmy. He comes from a family of very, very large men. He's not the biggest man in his family. No, his family is known for like being very good, high, like offensive line football player types, and he's not their biggest.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a defensive tackle about the Texas A&M or Texas A&T, something one of those.
Yeah, something like that. And so,
his family all big people, basically, like even the women.
Defensive, offensive linemen, like stuff like that. So,
listen, Jimmy, we don't want to go into Jimmy the Greek territory here.
Okay? Oh, yeah.
No. I'm just saying, like, which Jimmy the Greek are we
they bred the this and they bred the that, and they came out with Keith Lee as their perfect demigod.
Oh my God! Yes.
No, but for real though, like that's kind of like I didn't know that. Like that blew my mind. If that's the case. That's even more reason to look out for your
people
house.
People usually have big parents too. I mean, it's not usually accidental. I mean,
yeah. But see, I'm the biggest in my immediate family by a long shot. My parents are nowhere near my size.
That's because you what they call a hijack when you change your genetics. Gene hacking. You gene hack your DNA through giving yourself the munchies for 35 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. That's the problem. No, but the thing is, I can lose weight like real easy, but I gain it really easy. I like that.
I like once. Let me laugh at my joke.
I laughed at it, so it was good.
Jimmy, gotta learn comedy. Let it beat for a minute. Give it a beat for a minute.
I laughed at it for crying out loud. I liked it. I was down for that. But you're in the same boat too, John. Looking at your family, right? Look how skinny your dad is, or your mom, and shit.
Yeah, but my mom is me, but in female form. And my grandfather was like, my grandfather was a dairy farmer, and he was like that too. He was. I
see. Even my grandparents will never like. They're all skinny, man.
Now I'm the tallest of everybody in my family, and like my grandfather wasn't as tall as I am.
What are you, like 6'8"?
No, I'm 5'9".
And you're the tallest.
Yeah. Yeah, so like height was never an issue.
Also at 5'10", I'm like a giant among them.
I'm 5'10" as well, but I'm not like the tallest though.
Yeah, like
actually, my son Ryan is taller than me, so I'm a liar. I made a giant, but he's skinny. But I was skinny once too.
Well, I say my immediate family because my middle sister Erica married my brother-in-law Craig, who's 6'4", 6'5", and then they have both her boys are already taller than me, and then they've got their daughter. But yeah,
he's freaking pretty. He's taller than you too, isn't he?
He's my height. Yeah, we're both
now.
He's 18. Yet, yeah, he's 18.
And he's enjoying his AJ Styles haircut while he still can.
Yeah.
Until he hits the real world. Yeah. So like he's got it. It's fine. But yeah, like so this match after we know that this tournament's going on, I know we have this going. It was like, okay, I understand we wanted to have a title match. Naomi's been going for it. Naomi's also in the U.S. Women's Tournament, so we know she's not getting this title. So it was one of those things where, is it because we are wanting to build this connection between
Candace,
thank you. Again, I was thinking Poison Pixie. Candace and separate Tiffy from Nia even more, because that's what it felt like towards the end of this, at the end of this match. That was the vibe I was getting from it, because Nia was excited at Candice, but looked at Tiffy like why are you here, kind of thing. So
what the hell was Candice there for?
Because they show that she's starting to kind of just, well, don't forget, Jimmy, she's the WWE Women's Speed Champion, so she's a champion too. Yes,
Bloodline.
Yeah, right.
Women's bloodline. Fingers up.
Yeah, right.
Don't say that. Fingers up. What the hell?
And because always, let's be honest, there's
Different
always
finger.
that chance that that one. Yeah.
Well, she used to be with the dick bloke, if you remember.
No.
We don't remember.
But Tiffy has that knife that can always hang over Nia, the sword of Damocles with the Money in the Bank, thing. So it's like, I can trust Candice, I can't trust Tiffy,
right?
Which is I think, to me, that's an intriguing story. So this is just to kind of build that.
What's Candice going to do for you?
She has done things, and the more important thing is she's going to extend this storyline with the tension of she's just she's a decelerant to keep the story going with another person. She's not particularly interesting, but this is the most interesting she's ever been because of the situation. I mean, would I have preferred that you put in a more interesting woman into this position? But Triple H loves who Triple H loves, and they just released Indy, which I'm sure was a personal blow to a bunch of people he liked, including himself. So he's putting her in this position, and it's working, but it is mostly just to prolong the non-cash-in of the Money in the Bank, because we've discussed this. We know that what WWE traditionally does, or usually does, is that one Money in the Bank cash-in is like almost immediate, within the same night or within, a month. And then the other one, they basically string along as long as possible, maybe until Mania itself, as we saw last year. So that's what this is doing. This is keeping that tension, but basically Candice is Tiffany insurance and Nia insurance, but it's basically to keep the story. And you'll have like a mini feud between Tiffany and Candice, or Tiffany's first title contender before Nia gets a rematch will be Candice, because they'll give Nia 2.5 months off or whatever, because that's what they're doing now. But it's the only gripe I have with it. I thought SmackDown was very entertaining, and it was in contrast to Raw, which I actually posted. Raw was a bore, and I think Raw was a bore. It was. But the only gripe I have is that you basically had too many matches ending the same way with, NXT style outside interference. One is enough, and then you had two major segments, which were both pretty good, a little bit longer than they need to be, both pretty good. And by the way, Bronson Reed in the Bloodline.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I put Bronson Reed into this, a year and a half ago with Zion Quinn also, by the way. So,
and I agree with you. Even with Zion Quinn, I actually thought that sounds right.
Yeah, he was just going to be the doorman. He was just going to be the guy at the front of the door. There would be
he's got a great look. His look is great, but he sucks.
But nobody expected the Tongans.
I certainly did. Listen, I didn't even know Tonga Loa was a free agent. I knew
Jeff actually did mention the Tongans, and I didn't agree with it at the time. Yeah. So I'm thinking, why are you going to bring Tongans into Samoan thing, right? But they did it anyway.
They're all related. I mean, it's just islands.
Right, they're all Polynesians at the end of the day, but they hate each other. Tongans and Samoans hate each other historically. Do you know what I mean?
Well, not the bloodline gangs. They're all in the same business. Yeah. So, I mean, frankly, with all the crime families in WWE, the bloodline is the only one that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, but see, how are you going to explain now, though, with Bronson, other than he's Samoan?
You don't need to. That's enough.
Because he's Samoan? That's what I'm
saying. Jacob Fatu brought in his own enforcer.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. Again, Jimmy, sometimes you put logic. Like we how many times do we have to say we have to check logic at the door when it comes to wrestling? Right?
I know, but
we have to get the entertainment aspect of it. But then, that's the great thing about it, because then we go from this and we trans into a beleaguered Roman in the backstage area, and just like, all right, fine, I'm going to do this. He picks up his phone and he pushes a button, and it rings, and it says, "This phone has been connected. This is disconnected. This is a recording."
Right.
And it's just playing. He just got this just defeated look on his face because he was trying to call Paul Heyman because he says call Paul Heyman and it says the line's been disconnected. First of all, when was the last time, gentlemen, either one of you have heard that message when you've called somebody? When was the last time?
Friend?
Or anybody, just in general. When was the last time?
Is this person supposed to be close to you though?
But no, I'm just saying in general.
I actually get it sort of frequently, but that's because I
job.
call clients all day long.
Exactly.
A lot of times they have the wrong number in their intake because they moved and they never changed it and they never let us know the number. But in real life, well, first of all, I don't call anybody. But secondly, yeah, it's been a long time. But Jimmy, I also need to let you know something. Ole and Arn weren't brothers, and the Andersons and the Flairs were not cousins.
I knew that too.
And Nikita never met Ivan Koloff until the first time they put them on camera together.
And
guess what? They weren't even Russians.
Yeah.
Or named Nikita or Koloff.
Yeah, exactly. And even Nikolai Volkov wasn't even a damn Russian. He was a Croatian.
Yeah. Well, Nikita changed his name, so he's technically Nikita.
Yeah, no, his name is Nikita Koloff. But on Crusher Khrushchev, he didn't even try to fake an accent.
Very ridiculous. That shit like that really, it takes me away from it. If you're gonna do that shit, at least run with it. People forget Tony Gurria, right? For example, right? You guys know who Tony Gurria? I know you were
from Auckland, New Zealand.
Exactly,
him and Rick Martel. They're still in my head as what a great tag team they were that I never saw.
Right, exactly. But from Auckland, New Zealand, but people don't realize that shit. You know what I mean?
Look, Sergeant Slaughter wasn't a sergeant or in the Marines. He
wasn't.
So
he lied in the military at all, and people still accuse him of stolen valor. It's like, are you going to accuse Sylvester Stallone of stolen valor for being in Rambo? Come on, he's played a character on TV. That's the thing. Wrestling occupies such a strange place, like in itself. It's like theater, but not exactly theater.
It is theater in its own way.
Like Jimmy's inability to do this is not absurd because it's within the wrestling universe of
I know that
everybody's lines are so different and wavy and like there's no the gatekeepers are the strangest because even their own walls are crooked.
But get this. Imagine Bruno Sammartino, right? He had the Italians all backing him back in those days, right? But imagine you find out he wasn't Italian, or back then they would have found out he wasn't Italian, but he is. But I'm just saying.
Well, George wasn't gorgeous.
That's true. He was far from gorgeous. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I could
Ox
go
Baker
on
wasn't an ox.
It wasn't. That's true too. Muhammad Hassan was an Italian. It was an Arab. Except he looked Arab, though, very much. He actually did look Arab. But in saying that, the thing is, imagine being like hardcore Italian fan of
Persians aren't even Arabs.
Yeah, but the Arabs they weren't even probably behind him or he gave a shit. Whereas Bruno, during that time, like they had a wrestle for the Irish people. They had a wrestle for the Greeks in Spiros Arion, for example, at that time. Bruno Sammartino for the Italians. Ivan Putski for the Polacks, right? I can go on and on and on, like basically. But imagine finding out they weren't who they were. Sorry?
Please do. Keep going on and on and on.
Freaking, people will say, as an Australian wrestler, right? The Aussies know more. Bill Dundee's more of a legend out of any Australian wrestler per se, right? Than say Outback Jack. Right? You mean
Crocodile Dundee?
No, well, he's the real Aussie legend per se, or Steve Irwin, right?
Or the Wiggles.
Or the Wiggles. Hey, the Wiggles. That's legit.
Hold on. Legit. I've got checkmate right here. Olivia Newton-John. The end.
Okay, she's the one, right? For sure.
Though Nicole Kidman.
Other than AC/DC.
Hugh Jackman.
Everyone loves Hugh Jackman, though.
Hugh Jackman.
He's just a nice guy. You know what I mean?
He's Wolverine. Who cares if he's a nice guy?
Yeah.
Do you think he suits Wolverine? I personally never felt like he really suits Wolverine.
At the beginning, no. But now, yes.
Yeah, because you're used to it. It's just he's Wolverine.
Yeah, but also because I was like you. I was a little. Wolverine was like 5'2" and thick, and Hugh Jackman was like 6'3". But he played the role great. So, and it was like a movie, and I didn't expect the movie to be exactly like the comics, and I didn't expect them to find a 5'2". I mean, what are they going to do? Find John Silver and make him cool?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but how am I being racist, you fuckers? You Canada spaceman and Zane, you could both eat a dick. Put him in timeout. I'm joking. Don't put him top, but you're getting close.
Yeah, because don't forget, Yokozuna was the greatest Japanese champion of all time.
Yeah, but see, you can actually. But the thing about Yokozuna, there was a lot of non-Japanese that were Yokozunas. That's the thing. People forget John Tenta, Earthquake, was also one of the best sumo wrestlers before he got into pro wrestling.
Not
Legit.
a Yokozuna though, but no,
He didn't
you're.
get that
I
far,
mean, yes,
but yeah.
there was also pretending then. We
Mhm.
understand, but there were real people represented. I mean, Bob Backlund was the All-American boy. Hulk
Right.
Hogan was the All-American boy. Basically leveled up.
Yeah, very much leveled up.
No, I
Like,
mean, you're right.
extremely.
They were representing ethnicities which were part of their characters, which included things like the Strongbows and the Wild Samoans and
Right.
Atlas and Johnson,
Exactly.
which were stereotypes. I mean,
Mhm.
not that Polish Power wasn't a stereotype, but I mean,
That's the
some
worst
are
move.
more slur-like or out. I mean, the Strongbows, who I don't even think were Native Americans at all. I
They
think they were
looked it,
Italians,
though,
actually.
At least.
Yeah, wearing
One was
headdresses.
Italian, I think. Wasn't one of the Strongbows Italian? I could've
Yeah, one
sworn.
of them was Italian, but
Yeah.
and like, I mean, not to get too
And
granular,
Hogan was
but,
technically for the Irish. Zane's right, actually.
but only like Plains Indians wore headdresses like that, and like almost none of the other Native Americans wore those giant headdresses. Anyway,
I mean, Tatanka was the only legit Native American, really, when you think about it, that I could think of.
I wouldn't know. There were probably people that were legit Native Americans who play Native Americans. I mean, anyway, it's not particularly.
Yeah, and just like Kofi Kingston being Jamaican. It's funny because D was trying to get my attention to say that, but Canada Spaceman said it too. But it's right.
No, he's
Hogan
a
was
Ghanaian.
Greek, Canada. Hoganus is his real last name. Holkos Holgius.
Who?
He goes, I thought Hogan is Greek. Canada Spaceman.
Yeah.
Okay, he was.
No.
Holginis,
So,
Holgus.
by the way, Chief J Strongbow, Luke Joseph Scarpa, was
He's
an
not, he's
actual
Italian.
Choctaw Chickasaw Native Indian.
That's bullshit. Did you hear his last name? Say that again. His last name.
So
Scarpa.
Oh, sorry. Wahoo McDaniel was a Chickasaw Indian, but Scarpa, he was an Italian American, but he was trained by Chief Don Eagle, a Native American wrestler. So that's where he
also, I think it was mafia too. Like he had some sort of connection to the mafia.
Could be. He was so Wahoo McDaniel was Choctaw Chickasaw Native American.
And
the Briscoes are Native Americans, aren't they? The Briscoe brothers are natives.
The Briscoes were too.
Yeah.
Legitly.
Probably might still be.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, people were writing in Gerald Briscoe for president.
Yeah. Let's have the panel shot, by the way. They probably do somewhere. But Harlem Heat being from Houston is the funniest thing, though, to me. They don't even sound like they're from Harlem, even back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At all.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. That's how dumb they used to think wrestling fans were when you think about it, dudes.
But that's wrestling. But wrestling's fun. Wrestling is a thing where we, like you said, Jeff, everybody's line of, oh, this is real and this isn't, is so different, right?
They can't get away with it now, though, John. No way. If they were to do
everyone
would shit on it.
But
they probably will. They probably can.
But that's the point, right? Case. I mean, how many of us watch Tropic Thunder and Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, and we're all like, "Oh, that's hilarious! That's such a great movie." But yet, if somebody did it in WWE, we'd all freak out because, again, like
Roddy Piper did it. Remember that in WrestleMania 6?
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, and the rib
there was no backlash then compared to now. People bring it up.
He couldn't get it. He couldn't get it off because he used the wrong paint, and that was the rib. He couldn't get it off. He tried to get it off. And,
but reasonable minds can differ whether something is racist or race obsessed. I mean, there is a debate whether we're so race obsessed that it's actually we flipped to the 180 that it's just
to be honest. You want to be honest,
or more racist.
We should be able to take the piss on our own bullshit, really, without any consequence.
That's sort of what anti-woke culture is about. Unfortunately, anti-woke culture is also about your body, my choice. So, I mean, it's like everything is a mishmash of valid points, questionable points, and terribleness. that's why ideologies or fault, are weird, because like nobody's consistent. I mean, every person I've ever met, I shouldn't say every, but most people I've met who identify as libertarians, they've had government jobs their entire lives and have pensions and all of their benefits through the government.
Yeah, of
Sure,
course.
it's easy to be libertarians there, but they don't want to pay
Yeah.
taxes and they want their guns. Got it. I mean, sure, if you're a pioneer or a mountain man, like that's an actual libertarian. But if you have a 403b thrift savings plan through the state or federal government, and and your entire family is covered by employer health insurance with just your copay, you're not exactly libertarian. You're living off the teat of the state. And it used to be that you'd say, yeah, but I get paid shit. Nah, the government sector pays at the same or more than most private sector levels in the US anyway.
Yeah.
Right, but look, but it's pretty much the same for the most part, like down here. But Sonic the Hedgehog brings up an interesting point too, and this is my point. It's the media that's made this all happen. You know what I mean? In the first place.
Oh my God! Stop bashing them. What is the media?
You know what I'm talking about. The media.
What is the media? If you're in the United States, the
is
most
what
popular
dictates.
media channel in the world, in the United States, is Fox News by far, which is complete right wing. MSNBC is the
Right.
equivalent, which
I
gets
don't
about
mind Fox News personally.
well, of course you wouldn't, but MSNBC is the left wing, which gets like 1/10 of their audience. There is no the media. We are in the media because we're on the
I
air.
know.
We all have podcasts and
Yeah,
shows.
that's true.
There is no the media includes Joe Rogan at 20 million downloads a day is probably the most successful media in the world. Rush Limbaugh was the
Probably.
prototype of the media. I mean, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Jordan Peterson, they're the media complaining about the
Lemon
media.
as well. Yeah, but the thing is,
There
it
used
does
to be a
influence
media when it was CBS, NBC, ABC, and PBS.
before the internet.
Yeah, but before the internet, before Rush Limbaugh and G. Gordon Liddy turned AM radio into gigantic industries, there is no the media. But the attack on the media, which there is none, which I've already established, is part of the attack on institutions. There's made it that nobody trusts anything anymore,
Right,
and
they're
we're
dividing
all
people as well.
being manipulated by
Exactly.
enemies of classic liberalism, lowercase l, which means basic democracy and human rights and freedom. However flawed you think our countries are that we live in, we're getting we are being hit with an axis of dissemination, which is a 3 to 4 decade long campaign to make us mistrust everything, starting with the media, which, by the way, did do it to themselves, because when there was a media, they were absolutely liberal bent and not just a little bit, and they absolutely did it to themselves. And that's
and the propaganda was running wild.
I mean, the election denial started with Bush v. Gore and Gore. Now Gore conceded, but his followers didn't. I mean, so
wasn't he? Shouldn't he have been lost? Technically, he was.
Who?
He was meant to have lost that election even at the time with Gore.
Well, it wasn't like the Paul Tyson fight. It wasn't fixed. I mean,
no.
It's not like he was meant to win. I mean, that's the goal of running, is to win. But he lost.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
He was the vice president of a popular president, but people vote for change sometimes for the sake of change because they just think because the system is slow. Anyway, right. This is a very different show. I just get very upset when I hear people say it's the media. There's no fucking media. There's no such thing.
But even the racial divides and all that bullshit, people fall for that shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, people legitimately fall for it, and then they run with it, and it just turns everyone against everybody. You don't even know what you can say anymore. Like, you get that paranoid. It's like, did I say something bad?
Well, that's
part
of what this election was, and the most benign thing. Part of it was guys just wanted to be able to be guys again, and women wanted their men to be able to be men again, and a bunch of women wanted to be women. I mean, that's a very overly simplistic view of what happened, but that was that was an element in this election, is that some people just wanted to be able to act like they did it, not to the same extent, but they want to be like they want to be able to go see a movie like Porky's and laugh and not be
Right.
told that they're a rapist. They want to be
See
able
what
to
I
see
mean?
American
You see?
Pie. They don't want to be told that Zach Morris is a terrible person and everyone on Friends was a psychopath. No, it was just funny. They're just regular people. Stop.
That's what I
Leave
mean.
us-
We're losing our friggin' like our humor, even, dude. You can't
Right.
even find it. It's ridiculous. You can't laugh at anything anymore.
Right. We all need to be androgynous robots all the time.
Exactly.
Well, it is what
Why?
it is. Unfortunately, we're
It's your
down to
fault,
that.
Jimmy. That's why.
I'm
Yeah,
an AI already. That's why.
you are. But I mean, I think it's that idea, and this is where I feel like wrestling is that thing, right? It's
By the way, John, I think you were just on an episode of Garden of Doom. Welcome.
oh yeah, thank you. Yay, I did it.
Break your virginity. It's the
Yay.
smack of doom.
So smack of doom. Oh, look, I may have to change the title to that. But I think that's where wrestling comes back in that sense of it can be that thing that makes us, like, as far as entertainment goes, it's that last bastion of entertainment that is
That mirrors
like,
society?
huh?
That can mirror society?
Well, no, it's that last bastion of entertainment where, like, guys can punch people and, like, you can feel manly, and girls come out in, like, really skimpy dresses, and you can be like, "Hey, baby, how's it going on?" I mean, like, you can get that kind of thing going on, and you
look
can,
on his face.
yeah,
Oh shit!
and he froze.
Not frozen.
Yeah, he had
Just
a
Try
hard
happy.
time.
whistling at a woman these days.
Just-
Try
just-
whistling at a woman, see what happens.
Yeah, but that's the whole.
Oh my God.
aspect of that.
Okay, listen, guys. When you're married to a Latino, the day you stop objectifying her is the day you die. So
Yeah.
I get to be like a 15-year-old boy in 1984 all the time. I mean,
Let's go.
it's sanctioned. So
Right.
guys,
But that's
pick carefully.
But that's why wrestling has continued to stay what it is because it's kind of that it's not a mirroring of society. When was wrestling
It's
good?
meant to be, though. It's always generally has mirrored society, though.
But
And
I mean,
even
think about
wrestling
it.
now is a bit not sure how they can be and what they can do and not do. You know what I mean?
But what was wrestling mirroring society when Stone Cold Steve Austin was punching his boss in the face?
In some ways, yeah, it was the 90s,
some
man.
ways.
It was
Take this job and shove it.
anti-authority.
It's just anti-established authority. We
That
have
was
all
that
these authorities,
era.
but
So yeah, it
it
did
was.
mirror society.
I would like to say it's a counter society, like in that. And when was this best?
No, but at that time though, everybody was feeling that way. If that makes sense. Like it was that era, that you know what I mean. Where
Right,
it was
but
anti-establishment.
feeling and
whatnot.
doing are two different things, right? Because they were manifesting what everybody wanted to do, right?
Right.
You had the NWO come in, and they were super
The
popular. and they
NWO
were
was ahead of its time when you think about it.
yeah, and
Because no one knew what the fuck. I didn't know what the NWO was as a 16, 17-year-old at that time, right? All I knew, I was NWO for life, right? But I didn't know what the bigger meaning of the NWO was until many years later. Do you know what I'm
Right.
trying to say? But that's
But-
why I'm saying it was ahead of its time.
But again, it's that idea of we're breaking the establishment, we're breaking the old guard, we're coming in, we're new, right? It's that counterculture of what we want because it felt like for years, oh, this is what we have to do, this is the way we got to go because
but
we're
wrestling
coming
was
out of
stuck
that.
in the 80s sort of
And that's
world
that's
zone,
what
do you
I'm
know
saying,
I mean?
and that's what I'm saying, Jimmy. That's also the
So
mirroring
they
of society.
adapted to
We're
to
coming out of
society,
that
right.
80s greed is good, philosophy. So wrestling was counterculture, doing that counterculture of, hey, this is how it is. This is what you should be doing, right? We want to punch our boss in the face. We want to be we want to be different. We want to break that old mold. We don't want to be that thing. And that's where right now wrestling is going, okay, part of that old mold is going back to that 80s and 90s. Everybody's like, we want the attitude era. We want the attitude era.
See, they'll never go back to an attitude. They don't do the same thing twice per se. That's one thing WWE's never done, right?
And I'm not saying they
except
will.
for
but-
pay-per-views like WrestleMania and shit. I'm talking about eras, right?
Yeah.
But right now is unofficially it's the reality era. That's what it's meant to be.
I think right now is the money era.
Yeah.
And that too.
They're chasing money, and if bringing signs, allowing people to have signs, is going to get people to pay $170 a ticket to go to a regular Raw or SmackDown.
That's a
By
joke.
God, they're going to let them bring.
That's a
their
fucking
signs.
joke.
Yeah.
What they're doing now for PLEs is disgraceful, WWE.
I agree,
But
but
people are
paying.
paying.
But they're paying
Exactly,
it.
it's crazy, but
And wrestling shouldn't be for elitists, but it's not. I mean,
it's
this
becoming,
is why I have trouble with a lot. Yeah, actually, I'm not going to finish my thought, but yeah, I mean, I do believe that there's a breaking point, but I keep getting proven wrong. So I guess I'm glad
you've been proven right a lot lately.
Yeah, but on the big things, I'm not. Well, maybe maybe the breaking point's going to come still. But listen, I get it for WrestleMania. I do. I understand for WrestleMania. It's the Super Bowl, so you can charge Super Bowl prices.
Different.
But for like
that's in its own stratosphere, dude. That's completely different. You know.
But Jimmy, like it's the same argument of like, okay, how can Jerry Jones justify paying and charging what he is for the product that he puts on the field that he himself, for the last 30 years, has really shit on for his fan base and everybody along those lines.
Still?
And but people are still. That's what I'm saying, Jimmy. Let me get there.
That's
let me
totally
get there.
On the people.
I understand that. Let me get there. So let me finish. Is people are still going to Dallas Cowboy games. They're still going to pay money. I know people who are like, well, so and so selling this ticket, so I'm going to go so I can go to a Dallas Cowboys game. Have I ever stepped foot in a Dallas Cowboys game? Never once. Have I ever done it? Would I? Only if somebody else paid for it, because then I'm not paying for it, because I'm not going to do it. The whole point is that WWE is the same thing. They have gotten to the point now. I'm not going to say they're too big to fail, but they've got to the point where no matter what, people are going to pay to go watch a WWE event. Are they going to pay to watch an AEW event? I think we've shown they're not going to pay to go watch an AEW event.
It's the total opposite in money, though, and how much a ticket is. It's dirt cheap to go to AEW,
but people don't go.
Pay. Right.
People don't want to go. Why? Why, Jimmy? Because, again, it goes back to what are they putting out? What are they doing? How are they telling stories? And they've done this thing to where, yeah, you know what? I don't want to miss out, right? And then doing, again, like Jeff said, hey, if having a sign of the week and we make signs cool again, it makes people say, I don't want to miss out when they come to my town. WWE makes it to where you don't want to miss when they come to your town versus AEW where you could give a shit, right? Because there's always that chance that you're going to be seen on WWE TV. And how cool is that?
Absolutely. And WWE, look, like I was saying earlier, look at the fan bases of both. They're not the same. It's very different, man. Like looking at a WWE crowd, right, and you look at an AEW crowd, it is nowhere near the same fan base. Like the WWE, Jeff saying, whoever one of you two said about WWE becoming elitist, I mean, they're a lot more classy, the WWE fans in looks compared to the AEW fan base, which look like a bunch of fat dogs. Honestly.
Well, there's also families with kids and grandparents. I mean, you have women dressing like they go into clubs and stuff.
Right.
I mean,
the WWE ones are dressing like at a club.
It's an event. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like you go to AEW, it's like you're going to the dive bar at the secondary college in town. It's like it's like all your geeks and It's a bunch of fat dudes or super skinny dudes, and and the female equivalents and the androgynous equivalents. It's not a good looking crowd, but it's probably much more realistic of what you'd see when you walk down the street. WWE is much more realistic when you're walking in the corridors of the nice mall, like the mall that has the Sephora wing and Nordstrom's and the Lacoste place, as opposed to the one that's all like I don't know, like Payless.
They would be, they would be AEW if WWE's Lacoste, say, right? Then AEW is, say, British Knights. I mean, remember those BKs? Fuck that.
Of course I remember people.
Right. I'm just saying that's the best way I could put it myself, even though they don't exist anymore.
I'm surprised that WWE hasn't bought those to make them LA Knights and tried to sell some shoes.
Oh shit, that's a good one, dude.
I know.
That's a great idea, actually. Damn, that is very good.
That would be good.
You almost threw up, Zane. Really? What are you? Are you the BK side?
I can't tell if Zane hates you or loves you, or hates me or loves me.
Dude, I don't know anymore with him either, man. He loves me, he hates
tweets me all the time and says things, and I'm not sure whether like whether they're in support or
He
ridicule.
tells
or
me privately that he loves me, but then he tells me publicly that he hates me. Like I just don't get it.
Right. His answer is no. Good. I like that.
Zane is just designed to, keep you on your toes.
You know what? His name is Xaney.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that before. Then he got upset. He started giving me shit.
He loves
Xaney.
me.
That's it.
His name
See,
is Zane.
look what he's doing. He's trying to make me jealous now too.
Good. He should be.
Yeah. Guess what? Well, see, I love and hate Jimmy T. What the fuck is this shit?
That's that's when somebody really cares, when they both love you and hate you.
I guess
That's like a marriage.
this is weird. This is now weird. Can we just get off the weirdness?
Nope.
For now.
I want to explore
come
this
on.
relationship. Yeah, let's go.
Oh,
Let's go.
no.
Yeah,
So-
let's go
Let's not
deeper.
go
Let's
there.
sit. Let's sit and talk, please.
Yeah.
Please. Let's
See what
let's-
you've
let's
done,
sit
Zane,
and
you prick. Nah. The
What
hate is
did you-
just more love. You're lucky you said that.
talk.
Yeah, listen, Sami Zayn said it best. The one good part, was it last week on SmackDown or was it on Raw? But Sami Zayn said that people think that the opposite of love is hate. That's not true. The opposite of love
it's-
is indifference.
But
Mhm.
that's true. That's actually true, though.
That's
He
right.
wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what you
And-
don't want.
and
You
the
don't want
enemy of
indifference. Hate is
wrestling
still
is
a
apathy.
feeling.
And signs bring fun.
It's true. Cold Blood saying Zane sent those black orbs of death to Australia as a gift for Jimmy. Don't say that, Cold. God damn. It's not cool, man.
What's a
It's all
black
about the
orb
heart
of
attack,
death?
please.
Is that like what Katrina had with Mil Muertes?
I
Yeah.
have no
let's
idea.
go
But
with
it doesn't
that.
sound good. God damn
By
it,
the way,
Cold.
we're supposed to be
Yeah, I'm
interviewing on Book of Black Nurse Brenda from Lucha Underground, who actually
Oh, really?
goes
Yeah, I
by
saw you saying
Holly
that.
Meowie. She actually runs a cat shelter, by the way.
Howie
Really?
Meowie?
Yeah,
That's
Holly
really-
Meowie. Which I mean, it
Does she
sounds
meow?
fantastic. Yes, we all know what it sounds like, and so does she. By the way, she is not
Is she
done.
like, all right,
She's
meow.
in on it.
Listen, if you all want to see something hysterically terrible, but it's supposed to be terrible, go on YouTube and look up The Chic Massacre. It's like 25 minutes long,
The
and it's
Chic
like a parody horror movie, and it's done by John. Actually, his shirt says Johnny. Insert gimmick name here. John Taya, Nurse Brenda or Holly, Karrion Kross when he was still Killer Cross because he's bald head. PJ Black, who's stoned most of the time, which is accurate, and Super Panda, who was swiping for Tinder dates.
Ooh.
And it's horrendous, it's gory, it's hysterical, and if you like wrestling and you get the wrestling inside jokes, you'll think it's funny. Now, my brother
That would be
said
funny. That
was awful, and my wife stopped watching once. Ironically, once Holly got killed, she's like, "That's
Really?
terrible." Spoiler:
Lasa
pretty much
Cadia stopped
everyone gets
watching it?
killed. Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Lasacadia didn't even like it?
Actually, we should do a watch along. We should put it on right now. We've gone 3.5 hours. We should just put it on as a
How long
watch.
does it go for?
It's
like
24 minutes. I'm looking at it
I'm
right
down,
now.
but I'm
I'm
gonna
looking
start
at it
eating,
right now.
man. I'm starving.
Shut
Oh,
up.
I didn't know Killer Cross was in it.
Yeah, he is.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool.
Thank God, Cold, I'm not
I
from
say we
New
do.
South Wales.
I say we do a
Spoiler.
special Smack Attack showing, and we do it. We
Let's
show
do it. I'm gonna eat my freaking food.
Yeah, you can eat while we're watching. I mean, it's
Sweet.
you're not adding much to the show anyway.
Jeff.
That's why we brought on Jeff. That's why we brought on Jeff.
Fine, I'll fuck off
Yay.
then. I'll just leave.
That's right. You fuck
Shit.
off and leave.
Yeah, fuck
I
off.
will. You think
Yeah.
I
I won't?
will.
I'll fucking will.
Okay.
Just
That's what
play
someone
that
with a
shit,
man
will
bun
you?
would do.
Don't get me started, Jeff. Just play that shit, will you? Want to use?
Yeah, use.
What?
Well, the only use
it's
that
an
can do it is
Australian
the
thing,
producer.
Jeff.
I don't have privileges to do that. So
I'm not producing. I don't produce the show at all. These are all
Yeah.
John.
Wow.
Black orbs of death. I think they're talking about the oil bubbles that
No. There
pop
are
up in the air.
orbs that are going around in New South Wales. They're called the Min Min lights as well. Look into that.
well, you look into it, and then you could come on Garden of Doom, or John, you can look
never heard
into
of
it, and
the
you
Min
can come
Min
on
lights
Garden of
before?
Doom.
Have you heard of it before?
No,
You
this
should've.
is the first time I'm hearing about black
Really?
orbs of death. But black orbs of death is a
They're not
awesome
technically
title,
black orbs,
and I
though.
already know that the outro song would be Black Hole Sun. So all I need is the content.
Technically, they're not black orbs per se, but
Mhm.
I've never heard of the way he talks about it. But if it's what I think he's talking about, it's the Min Min lights.
Are they like cubes? Are they black
No,
cubes?
they're circular orbs that
Oh.
people think at first it was what do you call it? You know, the what do they call it again? The something gas fucking
Ball lightning?
ball of lightning. People thought it was that, but they're a lot more intelligent. They seem to actually have its own intelligence, and they appear pretty regularly.
Are they near that U.S. Air Force base or Joint Command base that's in Southern Australia that you're always telling me
That's
about?
in the Central Australia. But if
All
that
right.
was the
Well,
case,
according to the
it'd be
Guardian,
total bullshit.
it says
It'd be some
the
sort of-
golf ball sized pieces of debris that washed up on sand and forced the closure of 2 Sandy Base has been confirmed as tar balls, which is the
What?
byproduct. Yeah. The
Wait, what are you
mysterious
talking about? The
shot-
black orbs of death.
Yes,
Well, there goes
mysterious
that stuff.
black toxic objects close more sandy beaches. Those are tar balls.
Okay, so
Well-
it's not about the Min Min. Look up Min Min lights.
Hey, flat
MIN.
earthers, that tells you things naturally with erosion become spheres. That's how things work.
Well, yeah. I've never heard of those black orbs of death. Where did you find this shit out, Cold? That's the first I'm hearing of it.
Tar balls is not nearly as exciting as black orbs of death.
What the hell are tar balls? Literally, they're legit
Well,
tar.
tar
There's-
that's formed a ball.
Yeah.
But and what, they start flying around?
No, they're in the water. They're in the ocean.
It's obviously from pollution, and
That's
the
stupid then,
tar
yeah.
has formed balls.
Yeah, once
So
again,
in other
Jimmy,
words, jump in the water and you're dead pretty much.
it's toxic balls of tar, but like
Okay.
they're come from like
swallow your
byproducts of like creating oil or other
I
other.
totally understand now what they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Now that you
So once
explained
again,
they're in
Jimmy,
the
you're
water.
talking about one thing and then not really realizing no, it has nothing to do with sky or lights. These
Yeah,
are things that are found in the ocean. Black
I was
orbs of
assuming
death.
because just assumption.
Well, listen, let's not give up on this.
Look up Min Min
Maybe
lights.
once they lose their power source, they drop down into the water and they simulate tar. They devolve into tar
Yeah.
Maybe the Min Min lights.
to disguise their nefarious intent. Doom is back on the table.
Yes. Doom is back on the table, boys.
And now it's the conspiracy attack thanks to Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, come on. Listen, Garden of Doom is conspiracy friendly. We're also anti-conspiracy friendly.
You've had
It's
the
a
snack attack,
very
the political attack.
it's
the
a
heart attack,
very
literally we're
difficult
talking about
line
the
I
two.
ride at times.
Look,
I actually
that's-
struggle with it quite a bit. By the way,
Oh.
folks, I'm thinking about changing the name. So if you have any clever ideas, let me know. I'm thinking about Garden of Thoughts to keep it in the same sort of family.
I
I'm
wouldn't
also
change
thinking
it
about
if I were
focused
you.
meanderings.
I personally wouldn't change it because you've established it, right? But that's me.
But established to who? To a few hundred
I
people?
know you're picky.
mean,
You're very picky, but you just
But
got to keep
it's-
at it, Jeff.
It's very catchy. And I look, if you called it
I
something
get
else,
it
I
for the
might-
algorithm what he's saying though, in some ways too, because
Yeah.
Garden of Doom, like
But like I
No,
love
how you
the
look
play
it
on
up,
it, like,
like-
Garden of Doom. Then you have Garden Views, and like it's a nicer version of Garden of Doom. I
know, but
love
just
that.
saying
Garden of
you
Thoughts
looking
allows
up
me to
s-
keep the play. That's the thing.
Well, can I
listen,
ask
I'm
you a
just
question,
thinking
Jeff?
about it.
if you
but
type supernatural in the search, does Garden of Doom come up?
I never go in the search. I never do all these things. Mostly
That's
because I
how
don't
you
know how
know
to.
if you should change the name or not.
Well, I don't know how to, but and I'm not going to learn. So don't bother trying to
No,
teach me.
just
But-
search it on a podcast.
All I know is that I've had to explain the name to guests, and I've had to rationalize it,
Really?
and I've lost guests just because of the name. And I'm not saying those guests would have been
What?
great or not. I don't know, but like for instance, I
What?
like a counterterrorism expert like declined to come on for the no, and like someone who like
I get
ran
that.
something important in like a hospital.
Well, when you
Didn't want
put
to
it
come on
into
this thing.
political
Now, it might have
context,
just been
then
them
that
because they were
makes sense.
sisters, and maybe they have the same persnickety attitude.
Mm.
Huh.
But I mean, it was their dad who, referred me. So you'd think that would have counterbalanced it. I don't know. Anyway,
Right. Yeah. I mean that to me. Ooh, Cold Blood says the deep think tank.
That sounds
I
cool.
sort of like that. I mean, so if someone goes in the search bar, this I know how to do because I don't want to have anybody else's name. At least it's been active for the last 2 years. But if you go into the search bar of Apple Podcasts, we'll see if the deep think tank or something like it has been used. Because I don't want to get confused with anyone else's show. And listen, I understand the difference between copyright and trademarks is that you can have the same title if your content is different. But if their subject matter is close enough, I don't want to piggyback off them. And I also don't want to have to look up to see whether they do have a trade. Like I have a trademark on Garden of Doom. I'm starting to get my scam letters trying to charge me $1,100 to renew the trademark, even though it doesn't need to be renewed yet.
Nope, I don't see anything called the Deep Think Tank.
All right, well, you know what? That's actually a pretty good name, DTT. That's
great
sort of
name
cool.
because it sounds
DTT,
familiar too.
yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
You know with DTT? Yeah, you know me. We know with DTT. Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, ho, hey.
Were we supposed to watch something just quietly?
Yeah, we're supposed to be watching the Sheik Massacre.
Well, I mean,
Check
it
it out,
is.
John.
Look, we are, but we're like I said, we'll have to do it special because I got a wedding. I got to go get ready for.
All right. Another time.
Yeah, another time. That's right. We'll do a special Smack Attack, but we'll watch the Sheik Massacre, which I have pulled up. But we'll do it live with everybody some other time. So
and Ilma Kuresi, if you're watching the Smack Attack, confirm if you're going to be on the show tomorrow or not. I mean, if you don't want to say no,
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I mean, it took me 2 years to know what Sufism was and another 2 years to find a guest. But,
Damn.
What's another 4 years between strangers?
Right. Yeah, look, nothing on Spotify either.
All right.
So I don't.
I'm going to put this in my notes right now as a possible name. Joining my little list that I'm keeping.
That is a really good name, though. I must say.
I like it.
Forever
I also
Thanks.
thought of Quicksand, Myriad Pathways, but Quicksand I feel is a little bit like Garden of Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Quicksand is quicksand. Literally, you don't want that. Quicksand of Doom.
I feel like sometimes my brain is quicksand to itself.
Honestly, Legion of Doom would be a good name for a paranormal podcast, but forget that. Though.
I am Legion.
Now
of Doom.
there is the Phantasmagorical Think Tank. That is a podcast that is out there, but there is no the Deep Think Tank.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would confuse those two brands, which is why I don't want market confused. And I would also say that probably the dominant feature is the phasmagorical aspect of it.
And when you
which, by the way, fantastic use of a word. The very Lovecraftian, cyclopedian, the hideous. I'm sorry. I just finished reading the collective works of H.P. Lovecraft, and by reading I mean listening to. But it was still 60 hours, and the hideous occultations of the Cyclopean towers. I mean, I just can't get it out of my head.
Have you read any Aleister Crowley books at all, Jeff?
I have not, and I cannot tell you how many times that I've been making a reference to Timothy Leary, but saying Aleister Crowley, thinking that they're the same person on the show, and how I'm sure that there's like 3 people out there who's like, you're thinking of the wrong guy, dude. You dummy.
Well, it's interesting, but you should look into those books. You'll like them.
See, let me let you in on what's not a secret. The whole purpose of Garden of Doom is so that people tell me about things so that I don't have to read about them or even watch a YouTube video. The whole point is like things that I want to learn about. And Aleister Crowley would be one of those things, is to have somebody that already knows about to talk about it and pretend that that's a show, but I'm actually just learning something I'm too lazy to learn about myself.
Well,
I have plenty of people that can do Crowley and Blavatsky and stuff. The truth of the matter is I've become less interested in the individuals and their philosophies as I am on the esoterica writ large.
Anyway.
Though I am really interested in Abraxas. I'm a little bit obsessed with Abraxas right now.
With Braxis?
Abraxas.
Okay. I was going to say, because Braxis is another thing altogether. But anyway.
You know what Abraxas is in the Gnostic mysticism that is sort of like the chief of the archons, but sort of might be above the demiurge, which is the false god. You know, the god of the Old Testament was actually like a lesser god that, wants us to fuck up. And the archons are there to make sure that we keep on fucking up. But Abraxas is sort of in between there, but maybe above, but like sometimes is good, sometimes is evil. It's almost like they stuck in a Zoroastrian creature into the Gnostic, which sort of undermines or impeaches the whole thing as I understand it. But I'm not a deep thinker.
He's so trolling.
I know. You are a deep thinker. Stop it.
All right. So if anyone's an expert on Abraxas, it's got a rooster head, man's body, snake's legs, holds a shield and a whip, sort of like Indiana Jones.
Sounds like the fucking garbage burger that John was talking about before.
Well, it's called a Chimera burger. I had a great burger last night, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I still feel full.
Like, yeah, no, I still feel full, but it had avocado, it had grilled onions, it had grilled mushrooms, it had a fried egg, it had bacon, it had tomato, it had, I mean, like.
Did it have beef?
Yeah, there was a beef patty on there. It was a half-pound patty. Yeah. It was a half-pound. Like,
wow. See, I think the mistake you made there was having the grilled mushrooms and the grilled onions as opposed to just chopped onions and just ungrilled, and then that was the step too far.
No, the step too far was the avocado and if you'd have just done, if I'd have just done the bacon and the egg or just the Swiss, because there's 3 types of cheese. There was cheddar, pepper jack, and Swiss on top of all that. So
Swiss cheese ruins everything.
Really? See, I love a good Swiss mushroom burger. Like a good Swiss mushroom burger is good.
Jarlsberg cheese is not bad though too. I don't know if you guys have had that.
Yeah, I don't like Jarlsberg. I like Munster though. I don't like cheese with holes in it.
I like Munster a lot. I like a good Gouda.
I like Gouda. Havarti, delicious, creamy.
Oh yeah,
Havarti's magnificent.
Colby, Monterey.
Yeah,
Colby.
Yeah,
Colby's good for toast.
Right. Oh, like if you're making a grilled cheese, I think Colby is the way to go.
I like a Colby Jack. I mean, cheddar though to me is for cheeseburgers is like, I think it's the ultimate Americana.
Oh yeah, it's ubiquitous for a cheeseburger. Cheddar cheese on a cheeseburger is ubiquitous, but
that's a standard. That's
like for a good grilled cheese, a cheddar jack is. I mean, a Colby Jack is like I think.
I like American cheese on my grilled cheeses.
Look, you get
cheese, though. What's particularly American?
American cheese isn't really cheese.
Yeah, it's a cheese product.
Are you talking about government cheese?
No.
It's. I mean,
like Kraft Singles, right?
Yeah,
it's American
Singles,
cheese.
Yeah, that's.
They got a
strange cheese to us,
but it's a bunch of emulsifiers so that it's
of shit cheese you can get basically.
Right, but it's so gooey and
right.
it just gives you that pull factor. That's just
well done bacon, tomato, some spicy brown mustard, and American cheese on a grilled cheese. I mean, there's no reason to go back. It's
Kraft
so
Singles,
good.
man. We all grew up on Kraft Singles.
Yeah,
you have Kraft Singles in Antarctica.
Come on now, really?
Really?
Kraft Singles,
they survived down there.
Isn't it like $50 a box in Australia after all the tariff?
Probably at this point, probably. But no, but that's like a staple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, legit, I sure do.
Like, it's a staple
because it doesn't go bad because of all the emulsifiers and everything in it.
You know what the funniest thing is when they created white American and white cheddar, they just took the coloring out and charged more for it because it's exotic. And I fall for it every single time. If there's a choice between cheddar and white cheddar, I'll take the white cheddar every single time because I'm a cheese.
Looking to Kraft Vegemite singles.
No, I'm not doing anything. I felt a Vegemite once, and it was the most. That's actually eating garbage. That's like it's like when vegetables like waste away and form a tar after 10,000 years, you get Vegemite.
I told you my experience when I first discovered Vegemite, right? When I was a child. Did I tell you guys that?
Probably.
Oh, well, I'll say it if you don't remember. But when I was a child, I was talking about when I was 5 years old. I was staying over my grandparents' house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just, as a curious little kid, I'm going through, everyone's sleeping, but I woke up and I was just going through everything. But I was looking for chocolate, right? I'll never forget it because it really scarred me, man. I thought I found chocolate. So, I get a spoon, I get a big like a big scoop of this shit.
It's a honey trap.
Put it right in my mouth, and I was traumatized. The second that hit my mouth, I started crying, man. Like, I literally freaked out. I was like, nah, what the hell is this shit?
That's a honey pot trap.
Dude, oh, man.
That's your mother teaching you not to sink into the cookie jar.
Yeah, exactly. I learned my lesson. But eventually, the thing about Vegemite, you get used to it where it's not really that bad. but I don't really have it. I hardly ever have it.
Sure.
But it's not like
I
I
mean,
hate
if
it
you're
now.
in a North Korean labor camp, well, sure. At some point,
It's
you got to
actually
eat to
good for you
survive,
though, Jeff. It's
huh?
actually pretty good for you though.
I don't care. Do I look like someone who cares about what I put inside me is good for me?
I don't know. That makes two of us. I'm just saying. But
Look. I mean, we put whatever we want in our bodies because it's fine. It is good, and cheese is wonderful because it's so wonderful. The fact that America has, as of August 2022, has 1.5 billion pounds of cheese in a cave in cold storage that costs us like $34 million a year to keep.
What about
Well worth
spam?
it.
You guys got spam museums, and I've got a
No.
thing for spam.
This is cheese that America has made that the government has bought and stored because they're basically subsidizing the dairy and cheese industry.
Well, they should at least distribute it to the homeless and to the countries where there's famine.
They'll
all get diarrhea, but still.
I guarantee there would be conspiracy theories about that cheese.
Okay, well, fine. Then if you want to,
there's also soy and corn and wheat, the same thing. I mean, all these things that farmers grow that for whatever reason, we have export limits on or whatever that we buy back and just keep in giant silos. I mean, I am going to go on the assumption that it is actually some sort of doomsday storage thing on the just in case there's actually an emergency to break.
No, what happened was so there's a guy I like to follow on YouTube. He's called the Fat Electrician. And he does all kinds of this weird Americana stuff, and that's one of them. It's a 10-minute video if you want to go check it out, where he talks about it's back when Reagan was doing the they were producing all this milk and cheese to give out to people to be donated and everything. Well, they overproduced it. Instead of flooding the market and causing prices to just absolutely tank, they started buying it up and storing it. So there's that there. I mean, just that's why we have that much cheese, is because it was intended to be donated and given away, but we overproduced it. And there's 500 underground caves in about 35 different states. The largest is in Springfield, Missouri, where it has 1 to 1.5 billion pounds of cheese.
That's what Homer Simpson's in charge of, by the way.
Yeah. So it's wild. Like, so if you want,
by the way, if we took all the money that we use in subsidies and actually converted all of the farms to permaculture, we could probably save the earth, and we would make all of the farmers actually legitimately more profitable, and the food would be better for us. Since you can't do everything all at once, I mean, the process takes 7 years to convert a farm, but since you couldn't do them all at once, it would probably take 40 years to get them all. But if you mandated on the corporate farms, which are 70% of it, they'd get it done lickety split.
Yeah, Scott,
Chris was good, man.
Chris, yeah, you missed a good show last night. So, but we've already done all that. Yeah, we're done all that. So, oh shit, it's 11:50. We're almost at 4 hours. I need to get showered and
not for me. I've only been here an hour. So
yeah, but still,
my limits.
Yeah, but gentlemen, thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining me on the show, and thank you. It's good to be back, and we'll be back because for a while until.
John won't be back now for 4 weeks after 4 hours tonight.
Yeah, I'm Bobby Lashley. Like, I show up, I do a thing, and then I don't show up for another 6 weeks. But
then I'll be Will Ospreay, bruv.
Yeah, bruv. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here as always. Of course, obviously, Jeff, we've plugged you in Garden of Doom and your wonderful shows. Thank you for those. I enjoy them every week. They're my must listen to every week. Other shows sometimes you can skip, but not Jeff's Garden of Doom. They're always great, so make sure you do that. And of course, Jimmy, you can sign on him all over the internet, but especially tomorrow, because tomorrow, after the wreckage, after the collision, you have to sift through the
wreckage.
There we go.
With myself and the vet, and of course on Tuesdays, if you love your WWE Raw, well, tune into I Like a Raw with me and Big Ray Hernandez every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, and also this very show next week with me and John, or is it me and Jeff, or is it Jeff and John? Who knows what you're going to get?
You never know what you're going to get.
We'll give you the smack attack right here on channelattitude.com.
Smack it.
Media Group.
We'll smack it real good.
We'll smack it. We'll
John,
smack
you're having a
that-
little bit too much fun
that
over there.
booty.
Yeah, well, I got an hour and a half drive to go to the stupid wedding, so I've got to get it all out now.
Stupid wedding.
Yeah,
Stupid marriage.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
fuck wedding now.
look, they're paying me $400 to do it, so
And
yeah,
so you're
that's
going to
all
pay $300 in gas. So good.
yeah, probably to do it. Yeah, thanks, Biden. Yeah, but the gas prices are wild. Like they were got to a point where I was paying. Oh, okay, because my card when I go to Walmart, it gives you a discount of 50 cents. So I was like, oh, 190, 180, cool. And then this past week it was like 250 because it was 280 for gas up here. And I'm like, what the? Oh my god! Like, would gas just stop making these ridiculous jumps of, and just be?
How many liters is a gallon? Does anyone know?
I don't know. That's math. I don't do math. Fuck that.
No, because we go by the liters here. You guys go by
Yeah.
the gallons.
And look, it's
$2.40 per gallon.
It's $2.80 per gallon.
A gallon is much bigger than a gallon is like more than 2 liters because like our Coca-Cola bottles are 2-liter bottles and a gallon of milk is like 2 of those or like 1 3/4.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
D had it up. What was it, D?
Huh?
Yeah, but how many liters is in a gallon though?
Well, I mean, it's not a direct conversion. I mean, there is a direct conversion. I don't know, but it's about 1.5 liters.
Yeah, it is. You're spot on. That's exactly what it is. 1.2 actually, but
okay.
Yeah.
You guys actually is a little bit cheaper than us. We pay like right now for gas, like $2.40 a liter. Right now, that's a ripoff, dude.
Yeah. So you're paying California.
Well, John, you're complaining about $2.50. Gas here is like $3.99. I mean,
what?
So,
mm-hmm.
Well, he's in
gallon.
Texas, so half the gas is there. I mean,
So a lot of the refinery and processing plants are here in Texas.
Yeah.
So transportation isn't as bad. So
ours mostly comes from New Jersey.
But why are they? But it's still expensive though for Texas, technically.
Well, I mean, because that's because we're not allowed to drill anymore. Biden shut down a lot of drilling, so therefore,
really?
so we're dependent on a lot of foreign oil to create our gas. So therefore,
that's a conspiracy in itself, right there, man.
That dictates our pricing based off of how much.
So Biden brought that in where you can't drill anymore in Texas.
Yeah. Well, no,
they just stopped giving new leases. So the U.S. export is a net exporter. We can produce all of our own energy. We don't because it's part of national security. I mean,
Right. And it's the same with us. You know what we do? We sell it off to you guys, right? Our own shit, and then you sell it back to us. How does that work?
Well, we sell it to Europe because they couldn't buy from Russia anymore. I mean, that's why it's more expensive, basically, is because the Russians invaded.
Right?
But that was the point. It's like because of those situations, then the United States like, oh well, we need to produce more, and Biden said no more new leases. So therefore, we're having to be dependent on what's available. So
holy shit,
there's tons in Mexico, and I mean, I know in Venezuela they can't get it out of the sea, but there's plenty there. I mean, it's heavy oil; it's different, but I mean, it's still
it's a lot more processing that goes involved. So that increases the cost because of the processing of everything. So like you can't drill in Alaska, you can't drill there was a lot of drilling that's going on during President Trump's term that help
I've said for decades we should invade Venezuela and make it the 51st state. They'll be better off. We'll be better off. The world will be better off.
I don't disagree.
Everyone's leaving Venezuela.
Well, I know, but maybe part of the deal is that the 25% of Venezuela that lives in the United States, maybe they'll help with the counter invasion.
Yeah,
maybe they can be the vanguard like the Romans used to do.
Yeah,
man, they're taking over New York. They're causing a lot of trouble in New York, particularly New York City, man.
I have not heard a word about Venezuela causing trouble in New York City, and half my family's in New York, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, there was a story about that they were causing trouble in in Aurora, Colorado, but everyone in Aurora, Colorado said, "Yeah, there's no problems there."
Yeah,
I'll send you a link about that. No shit, man.
But then again, too, Jimmy, it could be people being like you and being racist. So
right.
Well, no one's accusing. I don't know.
Here's the funniest thing is that I know through one degree of separation a bunch of Venezuelans who are giant Trump supporters, and one of them is illegal, and they're like, he said he was going to help Venezuelans. I'm like, I never heard him say once. I mean, what in America first did you hear Venezuela first? I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to help reunite a lot of Venezuelans with Venezuela. I mean, if that's what you consider help, then he's absolutely planning to do that
by sending you back. But yeah,
if that's what you consider help, then yeah, you're probably right about that.
Because Jimmy, remember, people want to hear what they want to hear, right? They want to hear what they want to hear, and they want to have that. So people will get this. I heard this when nothing about that was said. They just pull that information from it because they want to hear this thing. They want to do this thing. They want this to happen. So look,
whatever.
Humans are great at going. You know
what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna try to shut up as much as possible and just watch it go and just watch it happen and just hope that the world does keep spinning round and round as it always does and always has, and just and watch the tragedy of Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine in the end.
I know, man. Come on.
It'll be fine.
A lot of Americans are exaggerating so bad.
Well, Matt Gaetz is at least a statutory rapist. So
yeah,
man. The fact that I mentioned Trump once on my Twitter, you know how many followers I lost? I swear to God, man.
3, 4, maybe
that name. I'm under 1,000 suddenly again. I swear to you, man. That's a lot of fucking. You cannot mention that guy. If the anti-Trumpers are really bad like that, man.
Listen, I have never really been one to care that much about followers. Like, I joke about it sometimes, but I do not understand how there's people out there with 7,000 or 70,000 followers who they do nothing. I mean,
I don't understand it either, man. And how do they get it? I have no idea.
I don't understand what they do differently. They don't say anything particularly clever. They don't say anything particularly controversial. They're not like breaking news. It's like I get in these loop chains where following 13,300 has 13,500 followers. Like, how? Why?
Yeah,
what are you doing? How's that happen?
A weird thing. Look, I heard you can buy followers, so I don't know.
I was really proud when I exceeded 1,000. I don't know why. They're probably mostly bots and crypto bros, but still. And then I see these with 42,000. I'm like, you're not a star. You're not famous. And then I looked at poor Viking El Hijo de Vikingo who didn't break 12,000.
Come on.
I was actually tracking it week by week as the more times there was he went from 5,000 up to 12,000, then fell back down to 11,000. I think he's off of X altogether now.
Is he?
I think so. Or whatever it is, I couldn't find it the one time I looked. I mean, I'm not trying to stalk El Hijo de Vikingo.
Anyway, John, I know you want to go.
No, my stated enemy on Twitter is Andrew Bidella.
I can't stand him, dude.
Yep.
I don't even know who he is.
He used to be JD from New York sidekick, but I guess JD got too controversial for him, so he's trying to present himself as a business insider, but he comes off as being the least defensive property attorney who runs for the city council of a town of 2,700.
Okay. I don't know. Look, I'm the worst when it comes to this kind of stuff because I'm I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is.
Don't sell yourself short. You're the worst on so many things.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the goal. That's the goal. Just like I am the worst at closing out this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's close out this show. That's how you can find us this week. You can always find me at JReezyMen on all the social medias. You can do that this time. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, make sure you have a great week. Make sure you go out, you do something nice for somebody or not. Who cares? Just sweep the leg of the week, sweep the leg of the person in front of you, and then go kick ass for this week, however you want to do it. Just like Jeff's doing it right now. So until next time, we will see you.